It's a pretty big day for hunting video games. Now, I've been having this issue where I tab in and I can't move, so I'm going to have to go out to the main menu before we get to do anything. But Way of the Hunter, we finally get to see what it's all about. And there has been so many videos made, so much speculation about everything that's going on. And obviously, a bunch of videos came out in the last 30 minutes. If you want to check those out, I've got one, I know Scarecrow's got one, Mel's got some, and there are a bunch more out there if you want to go and check them out. So now that we can properly move, we are going to focus on the Nez Perce Valley map. We may explore a little bit further, we'll see. This stream may end up being 3.5 hours. We'll kind of see how things go. Low-key don't like the shots in this game. I will say I wish the recoil was a little more pronounced. Maybe that's something we could see in the future. I think you may be not a fan of the scope. Let me show you what a slightly better scope looks like. Little less kind of arcadey looking, if you ask me. Are you liking the game now? I'm really enjoying it, man. There is... how many hours do I have in this? 24. There's a whole ton of content coming in the next couple days. Every day, at least until Sunday, there's going to be at least 2 videos. So, video stream, another video today. Saturday 2 videos, Sunday 2 videos. Gonna be big stuff. Pre-ordered for the Series X? Nice. Speaking of that, I think I'm still gonna pre-order the game, even though I obviously have it for early access. Because don't you get like special things with the pre-order? I'm not exactly sure how to go about that, but I want to try it. Game looks very good, I agree. As I mentioned in the video title, and as I could not stop talking about during the video, the detail. I mean, you just get the impression that they had, if not the devs themselves, a very good consulting team that actually hunts, actually knows a lot about hunting, and those little details make their way into the game. Everything from the blood trailing to the hit animations are a huge thing, to even the realism of the way animals interact. The way that, I think we can actually see it in the encyclopedia rather than me just repeating things. Is it in the red dude thing? Where does it say that? I was sure it said a thing about the way that it might have been elk actually, which I don't have I don't have any zones for them yet, so we don't have them in the encyclopedia. But they actually go down low to feed and go back up high to bed. Like, those little behaviors make a huge deal. I saw a thing about a season pass, but I missed something, so I'm not sure exactly how that works. Interesting stuff, though. Which way is the wind going? Wind is kind of blowing southwest? Let's go north, then. Can you change the view bobbing? Do you mean like how we're bobbing up and down right now as we run? Or am I missing something? Is it cross-game, cross-platform? I don't think so. Do you get tired by sprinting? No, and thank goodness. It's really not even a sprint, it's more of like a light jog. But that was one thing, and I hate to compare hunting games, but I think in this case I will. That was one thing I really disliked in Hunting Sim 2. You'd run for like, say you gotta cover 2 miles. You'd run about 100 yards and then get tired. And then you gotta regain your stamina. And I understand like a realism thing. Obviously you can't, well, some people can run for 2 miles, but I surely can't. But, you know, from a gameplay perspective, you want to just cover some ground, I think you should be allowed to run as much as you need. Hopefully a Finland DLC comes to Way of the Hunter in the next year. I'm certainly hoping to see some other map DLCs. I believe they said they have some planned. And did they also, I believe they said something about archery maybe being a future DLC, so that's going to be exciting. Does this game have FOV? I don't think so. I haven't gone through the settings too much. The advanced settings obviously are just for the graphics themselves. I don't think there's an FOV setting, which I kind of wish there was, but to be honest, I tend to play almost any game on standard FOV, so it doesn't bug me much. Is there multiplayer? There is. I've not messed with it yet. I have no idea how that works. Now, one thing that is interesting, we can go into the photo mode and take a look here. So this is the main character. His name is River Knox, and everybody plays as that character. I wonder, maybe not at launch, because again, I don't know, but I wonder in multiplayer if eventually we'll be able to make our own character. Tomorrow another stream? Probably not. There are 2 videos tomorrow, though. What do we have for tomorrow? One is unlocking a new chunk of this map, and the other is a trophy animal, and I'll leave it at that to keep the surprise there for now. But I would consider streaming tomorrow, but Kyla's dad's actually here visiting. He happens to be going to try to fix his truck right now because his truck tried to bail on him on the way here. First deer of the hunt, by the way. I believe that is a herd of does, but does are worth the money as well. I don't see any bucks, but there is a thing, and I don't know that I ever got it on video. I think it happened when I was just playing through casually. You'll get little hints and tutorials, and I have those turned off just for the sake of not taking up too much of the screen. But if you shoot nothing but bucks, you start to hurt your male to female ratio, so shooting does is actually a good idea. We were thinking of River as a name for a little bit. Dude, that would suit really well. Hyped about this game. Any downsides you've discovered yet? I don't know that I would say downsides for almost anything. There's a couple of things that I hope get fixed. I can only relate this to Subnautica because it's the only game I've ever played that had this happen. If you're moving quickly and the game goes to load the next chunk of the map, you'll get some FPS drops. I mean, you know, 2 seconds and it's back to normal. Not a big deal. I would like to see the recoil of the guns kind of made a bit more extreme. You don't really get that feel that you just shot a powerful weapon in this game when you fire a gun. So hopefully that's something that can be altered as well. And I don't want to spoil the other thing that I think needs change, because that's going to be in tomorrow's video, so I'm going to leave that as is. Have you tried out the fitness system? Yeah, I'm completely out of shape. No, I don't know how it works yet. I have to keep on playing and learning, because as of now I just don't completely understand it. But I do think this is cool. If you look at the animal analysis for like the spawning info, you've got the species, the age, the sex, and the behavior. So the thing that's important when there's a bug, there's the age, and then there's going to be an additional column for the trophy, and that's the star rating. I still don't know. Can you get a young deer or a young stag or a young whatever with better than a 1-star rating? That's the part that I'm kind of unsure about right now, and I guess that's going to remain to be seen, but that's an adult doe there. We're going to go with our 7 mod 8. The wind is bad, so I don't want to get much closer. And I think that angle's probably okay. But you just watch. They hop when they get shot. I don't know if we shot her in the heart. I haven't had that happen yet. Interesting. Let's go see and find out what happened there. What is this game coming to? I've got it pinned in the pinned comment there. August 16th on PC, PS5, Xbox Series S and X. So only the newest gen consoles, unfortunately. Are there True Racks? They have like a version of True Racks. If you watch the Complex Trophy System Dev Diary, basically I think they said there are 8 different racks with 4 variations each, and then each of those variations has more variation. A lot of stuff going on. By the way, I'm planning on making a guide for the day that this video comes out. Analyzing tracks, something you should do. Even if you're walking past it, you can see it just fine, the deer's there. Analyze the tracks, and I'll show why in just a moment. But what did we do here? We did. First heart shot on a deer, and it's the first deer we shoot on stream. I think that's a pretty good sign for today. Definitely need more recoil? Yeah, definitely. Again, to compare hunting games, that's one thing Call of the Wild does well. You really feel like you just fired a high-power weapon, other than 308, but naturally the AR is meant to not have the recoil. But, nice little 100-pound adult doe, 151 credits from that. And we will keep on going. The Gaming Gecko, thank you for the super chat, man. Really appreciate the support. Oh yeah, I was going to show that thing. Are rare fur variations confirmed? In the Discord, they said there would be rares. Okay, so if we go to character, there's all these perks, they call them, that you can gain as you go along. So, for instance, you hit heart, lung, or artery 10 times, you get an increased hold breath length by 25%. Then when you get to 25 times, your hold breath refills 30% faster. Get to 50 times, you have 25% faster chambering. 75 times is going to be 25% faster aiming down sight, and so on and so on. Now, one of these down here, I'm not sure which one has to do with the tracks. Maybe Explorer, if my mouse would actually work. I don't know why it has decided to just freeze in place. It might be better to just plug it in. Wireless mice, I tell you. So what calibers are there? As I'm trying to get my cord plugged in, the calibers that I know of are 30-30, 243, 7mm mod 8, 308, 338, 300 Winchester, 223. I'm probably even missing some. Anyway, fix the mouse. So where is the track thing? Because I know that is something. I know that I had it do a thing. There we go. So Eagle Eye, 100 cents works at 10% greater distance. Interact with 15 unique animal signs, either static or dynamic. So picking up those tracks is a good thing. It's going to actually help you out. Anyone else really scared this game's going to overtake Call of the Wild? I'll tell you this much. I don't get the impression they're really competing for the same niche. I don't tend to compare like really any hunting games other than maybe like one element of the games. But if you ask me from my 24 hours of gameplay here in Early Access thus far, what I've been able to gather is that it's a lot more of a realistic style hunting game. I think Call of the Wild's a lot more like kind of arcadey, more, you know, fast-paced, lots of animals. Good chance we're not going to see another animal for 10 more minutes. And that's realism, you know? That's what you'd want to see in a game like this. So, to me, I don't think it's going to overtake Call of the Wild because I don't even think they're in the same niche necessarily, but we'll see. I think a lot of people tend to feel that you have to choose one. I think they're going to be able to coexist, and hopefully they push each other to do well. Do you recommend Way the Hunter? Oh, absolutely. If you're into hunting games, this will... I forget what's the price, 30 bucks? It will be worth the money and more. Like I said, I've got 24 hours in. When did I get early access? It was not long ago to prep the videos and stuff. I have been darn near no life in this game. The map looks huge, 55 square miles. Let me show you guys this too. So there's a really interesting thing with the map on Way the Hunter. You don't have access to the entire thing at first. You have access to a certain plot. Here, we'll even, yeah, it's fine. We'll fast travel and I'll show you the thing. $39.99, even still, you're gonna get well beyond your money's worth. So if you go to certain areas, you need permission to actually hunt them. And while that can be a little frustrating, I actually like that they are going to require you to kind of make progress slowly. I think if you were allowed to just, you know, run all over the map and shoot all the species within 5 minutes, it might kind of hurt the game overall. But I think this is going to be good. So one thing we can actually do, if I can find the right thing, is grab our Jeep. Love when you show us the thing. I kind of learned about that through editing real-life hunting videos. Like trying to show what I'm talking about. I feel like it helps. How's the small game hunting? I will be 100% honest, the small game hunting in this game is not the best. I find that, like I was driving along in my Jeep yesterday, I saw 5 red fox together. The ducks and pheasants and stuff, they're alright, they're fun, but I wouldn't say the realism is there for them. Maybe one day we'll see that, but definitely the big game is where the focus has gone into, and I understand that some people are going to prefer the small game, but for me, I'm kind of glad they did the big game as the focus. I'm assuming that the Jeep has a spook range. Yeah, it's not actually terrible. If you happen to be in a very open area, you may spot some deer like 400 or 500 yards out while in your Jeep and won't spook them, which, you know, I don't mind that. I think that's probably about right. But for the most part, you're just going to spook everything that you go by. Now, the reason I'm doing this is to get back onto public land. And now we can go on and look for more deer. It really does. You're descriptive as heck, but nothing beats visual aid. It's a big thing, I think, for, you know, trying to get the point across. Oh, we spook elk. I haven't shot any elk yet. I do. Oh, they're going back onto private land, though. That's a bummer. Alright, we'll see if we can find any more. But, I think it's a big thing in, you know, trying to stream or make videos or anything. You want to let things be visualized so people can understand. What's up, Psycho? Oh, I gotta do that too. Oops. Wait, is it? You put it in Friday morning or Saturday morning? I forget. Are there bows in the game? There are currently no bows in the game. I believe, though, if I remember correctly, in the Discord or somewhere they talked about maybe doing an archery DLC down the road. One other thing. You guys had asked, you know, what downsides there may be. We need an auto walk in this game so bad. I really want an auto walk. The weird thing is, for me... Actually, I guess I could just move my drink to the other side of the desk. But I'm used to auto walking, and I have my hand on the mouse, and I can't do that because I can't auto walk. Friday morning? It's all good. Unsold round 3, they'll be there. What's up, Joe? Game's good, dude. I'm really having a blast. We just saw elk for the first time. Unfortunately, they were on private land, so couldn't smoke them just yet. Pre-ordered Elite. I think I'm gonna end up doing the same. And like I said, I already have like the base game through this, but I just gotta have the cool things. How many guns are there in the game? I don't know the total number, but I'm gonna say 12, maybe more. Animal render distance, I think it's 800 yards. Now it depends on your settings. I'm actually not at max settings. My PC has a hard time running a smooth 60 FPS, so I have high preset, so my render might be 650, 700. Been spoiled by auto walk? I know. It's nice though, especially, you know, I find games like this, or really any other hunting simulator game, they're just a cool way to relax, and if there's something else I can do in the process, I tend to enjoy doing that. I guess that's my own footsteps I'm hearing. So you'll notice, and you may have seen when I spotted the elk, when any animal runs off, if they're going through a field, it might not make any noise, but once they go through the trees, they start crashing through branches, and you'll actually get audio clues. So it's important to listen as you're walking around for those kind of twig snap sounds. It's a little louder than a twig snap, but I don't know what to call it. Freedom units, I am playing in yards. I thought about mentioning that in the first video, because I know a lot of people are like, why do you play with meters? Why do you play with meters? Why is it the metric system in Call of the Wild? But yeah, because I don't have any animal weight that I need to memorize or anything like that, I figured I'd go with yards on this one. I'm curious, I haven't caught myself doing it in editing yet. I wonder how many times I've said meters and didn't know it. I did some research searching and it says PS4 and PS5. What they've said is that it's only going to be the newest gen consoles, but I don't know. Will you play the Angler? Yes. Can you show some guns? I've only got the two. Can I see others? I don't know. I think I can only show the two that I'm carrying right now. Can't we do it this way? Oh, okay. Yeah, we can show them all. So we've got a 243 Remington Model 783. We've got the Steyr Pro Hunter 7mm Mod 8. There are actually two versions of that, the Pro Hunter and Pro Hunter 2. Then we got the monoblock. That is the best deer rifle in the game, a caliber 308. Really good looking gun. I'm looking forward to getting that one. Got the SM12. That's a 300 Win Mag. Got the Zephyr 2, I think. 22 LR. I didn't even know there was a 22 LR. Got a Carbon CL, that's a 338 Lapua. Stinger 22 is, of course, a 22 long rifle as well. Grandpa's old rifle is a 30-30. Then we have shotguns. Three options there. The Morning Silence, that's a semi-automatic 20 gauge, 4-round capacity. I have not even looked at this one. Holden the Jack? I have no idea what that is. It's a side-by-side 12 gauge though. And then a 16 gauge over-under. Lots of options there. Pro Hunter 1 is the typo, it's actually 243. Is it really? Wait, so you're telling me then, let me go back to that so we can confirm such things. How did I get there? Firearms. Okay, so this here is a 243, not a 7mm Mod 8. Good to know. I'm glad that I have such an affinity for camo guns that I didn't even consider it. What about single player? Is this stream replacing your normal Friday stream? Yes. That's why I put on Twitch, like, all caps stream is on YouTube or something like that, because I didn't want anybody to miss out. You're saying the graphics are better than Call of the Wild? I wouldn't say the graphics are better than Call of the Wild. There are aspects of the graphics that are better than Call of the Wild. I'd argue the deer models are better, but I don't know how to describe it. Maybe you guys can see it on stream, but I think streams naturally make gameplay look a little fuzzy. The graphics are very good, but they're almost not as crisp as Call of the Wild. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I don't know, can we look at a tree like this? They're like 90% as good. Need to show some rabbit hunting? I haven't even seen a rabbit yet. Do you like the hunter sense? I would prefer it to work differently. I don't love the make the sides blurry and stuff. Oh, speak some mule deer. Well, maybe we'll go that way. I don't know. I don't do well finding animals that I've spooked, but we'll give it a shot. The wind was actually good, too. Bit of a bummer. We sat there and looked at all the guns, and I didn't look up that way. Drew, thank you for the super chat. First stream in a while for me. What animals are on this map? There are a bunch of species. I'm sure I'm not going to remember them all. Whitetail, mule deer, moose, elk. 2 species of ducks, 2 species of geese, fox, badger. Are there rabbits? There might be rabbits. Game reminds me of Far Cry? A little bit, yeah. Like, the world and environment itself, I kind of get that kind of vibe. So where is the animal hiding from us? They're very easy to spook, and you'll notice I'm mostly walking around. I'll run through like open areas or down roads or whatever, but it's so easy to end up spooking your target animal. There's some elk and a bear. Mature female bear. I haven't shot either of these species. Looks like 2 bulls. Let's take a look here. I'm glad I grabbed the 300 because I almost left it back home. 3 bulls. Well, let's just scoot over there and see what they look like. I heard ducks. What's going on, Graham? How long is the single player campaign? How many missions? I actually didn't do any of them. I wanted to focus on just the open world stuff for the content I've done. Where did you guys go? Trotting away. So we had an adult 1-star. I saw that for a second. We've got another 1-star mature, so that's a call bull for sure. Not quite close enough to spot those, so we'll just keep on scooching this way. And keep on keeping an eye out for others. Can you actually go prone? Yes. I don't know for sure if it's going to be the same on controller, but on PC you just hold down the crouch button. Crawling is very slow. You also get this bug sometimes when you're on uneven terrain. If you just give it a second, your arm goes back to where it's supposed to be. Other creators have said there is an auto walk. What button would it be? Tab. No. Caps. No. Got it. Control? Wonder what button it is. F? Oh. Wonder why I never tried that. Do you have a visibility marker like Call of the Wild? Do you mean like the ability to do this? Just place a marker out where we want? Press all buttons? I had to try. Well, that's good to know. I'm glad I haven't talked about lack of auto walk in a video yet, because there is one. That bear's just down there making noise. Cool. Good game, confirmed auto walk, you right. So what is this guy? That is an adult 1-star as well. Mature. Now that one looks better. Even though he is also a mature 1-star. I think that's probably the one we're going to go for. I'd like to get a little bit closer. The ballistics are pretty realistic. I just want to kind of make sure that we're not going to be looking at maybe a flesh hit when we could get lungs. Imagine running a game for the first time and not looking at the control scheme. If you can tell me where the control scheme is in this, I will agree. I'm pretty sure that there isn't one for a keyboard. I can't find it. I've figured everything out from scratch. How much does the game cost? Apparently $39.99, at least for the base game. Can you change the character's clothing? At least not at the moment. They have the same clothing to begin with. Do all animals go up to 5-star? Yes. Does the game have regional music? I always, in any game that I make content on, turn the music off. And the reason for that is I'm never certain it's going to be copyright free. Gotta be careful about stuff like that. Oh dear. We're learning things. Does really know how to help people out with the key binding? I'm still curious if there is a place to see it. Can you see your latest harvest? You can see. Does it pause the game when you do this? I don't know. There is a somewhere. I forget where. Is it in? There we go. So we've got this taxidermy assistant with stuff that's in the lodge, and then your hunting log, which you go to the bottom here. I don't know how to see Because it says there's 70 logs. But this is from the very beginning, like these are tutorial animals. So I'm not sure how they determine like what to display. Alright, let's see. They're still alert. That's the 1-star mature there, though. Let's see if we can get them before they take off. We're gonna need the 0 for about 100. Look like we got them. And it really is, you gotta pay attention to where they go. Was it him, though? I am not sure. We're just gonna leave a marker where we took the shot at. It looked like it should have been good. So is a 5-star like a diamond? That's probably the way to look at it, yeah. Music in YouTube's not a good thing most of the time. You just gotta be so careful with it. It's not worth potentially risking getting smoked for. Jake, thank you for the 5 months. Welcome back. Big mail. Did we get that elk? I'm gonna be very disappointed if we didn't. Oh. Yeah, he didn't go anywhere. Where do we hit him? That's not a bad bull, and that's a 1-star. You could probably argue because he was a mature, he's kind of past his prime. That or just really poor genetics. Look at the model, though. And it's the heads in particular on a lot of the models that I've noticed. They're almost photorealistic. They're very, very good. So what is the deal here? Just double lung. I wonder what the wound time was. Have you bought any new weapons? The 300 that we just fired to kill this elk was a new weapon, and actually the 7mm Mod 8 we used at the beginning also was new. How realistic is the getting hit animation? With the deer in particular, I'd give it a 12 out of 12. I don't know enough about elk and moose, but it's more of a knees buckle and go, whereas deer kind of have a jump, and I don't know how to describe it, but it's almost like their back and front legs nearly touch. Like they jump and their legs both go inwards. Or all 4 go inwards, maybe I should say. But yeah, 54% on the genetics, 1-star, mature, 800 pounds, and a 620 sell price. Now that's interesting. We go further over here. 0.77 credits per pound. Not too bad. Alright, we'll sell that. Make little monies. And we have the elk unlocked in the encyclopedia, so that will be useful. I swear I just heard a twig snap. And again, it could have been me. Where is Billy when we need him? If you shoot an animal, do bigger ones respawn? So the way that it works is that animals can age in this game. So actually by not shooting some animals, they can get bigger. Now what we just shot there was a 1-star rating mature elk, so it can't really get any older, and I'm not sure if there are different stages of like the mature age. Maybe they could go a little bit further, but when you do shoot an animal, there must be a respawn system of some kind, but my guess is that they respawn as a young animal and then have to go through an age. I don't know that, that's my guess. I've not shot enough animals to know. How do the animals respond to collars? Actually, that's something we can play with today. We'll mess with it in Sunday's video, but I actually haven't tried it with the deer. Let's go past this lake first, because I think I heard a mule deer in this area usually, and then we'll go and grab a deer color. The models look great. It looks like tracking wounded animals is more difficult than Call of the Wild. Oh, it's the most difficult tracking game that I can think of. Not difficult in a bad way, like difficult in a real way. And again, if you caught the video earlier, the fact that you can find blood in the places that you can, I mean, on tree branches, literally at any surface, basically, blood can end up on. It's very cool. Do the stars increase if it gets older? It depends. If the animal has good genetics, then yes. If the animal has poor genetics, it could end up being a 1-star basically forever. Can you turn off the white outline for the trophy shot? Do you mean, like from the one that I shot today? That's the only one that's done that. Every other animal I've shot doesn't have a white outline. I don't know why that happened. Now we spooked something. Couple of mule deer, so they were down here. Just on the other side that I thought they'd be. Don't know. They tend to run pretty far, so I don't think we're gonna be able to just go track them down. We'll walk out in the open though, see if we can spot him. Wonder how long it takes a 2-star to grow into a 5-star if it's got 100% potential. See, that was the other thing I was wondering. It's going to take a lot of time to figure that out, and I hope to some degree that it's, maybe a bit random. I think the best way to do it would be based on harvests, or maybe a combination of playtime and harvest, so you don't just, you know, shoot a bunch of badgers or something and all your animals age. Did those deer just spawn in? I swear I just saw it fall out of the sky. There are some deer over there, though. I think whitetail, in fact. And I don't know the way over there. Can we sneak across here? When will we see the video of you shooting your big PA buck? It's in about 40 days-ish. We have another Meat Hunters episode coming out today on the Meat Hunters channel. That, if I can manage to stream till 3 p.m., which is my hope, but I can't promise that's going to happen. We'll try to stream up to that point and then put the link in chat to go and check that out. One more week of the Finland and PA Rut combination episodes, and then things are going to get into rifle season, and I think it's going to go quick. Is there a visibility bar? As in, like, the animals being able to see you? There is not. Is the early access free? Early access, I believe, was like... Now that definitely sounded like a twig snap. Early access was, I think, basically something where you could, like, apply via email or something. I'm not exactly sure how it worked. I ended up... One of the moderators in the Way of the Hunter chat helped me out. Hello. Little guy. So I don't technically have the right gun. That's interesting. Moved off a little ways, and now we have some mule deer over there. I don't know what the spook range of a gun is, but maybe we'll try to get the mule deer since they're on our side and we gotta go that way. Truax, they have their own kind of version of it. I wouldn't say that it's a Truax thing necessarily. I didn't even see that. Don't know how I missed that one. Are there tree stands? The only stands in the game are like tower stands, you may call them. No tree stands, at least as of now. Where's Lugia? What's up, man? Game looks promising? Definitely. It has a lot of what I would call like hunting know-how put into it. You can just tell that if it wasn't the devs themselves that knew how to hunt and, like, you know, what happens when you hunt, they had a very solid consulting team. Wish they had bows and spotting scopes. I'm okay without the spotting scopes. I don't think in settings like this, most people don't have a spotting scope in their backpack, I think. But, you know, maybe one day that can be a thing. Bows, though, definitely. And I think it would be tough to get bows right. But if they could do it, that could be a huge deal for this game. Are there ARs? There are not. Are there dogs? There also are not, at least at the beginning here. I'm hoping they may add those. I could definitely use some tracking assistance sometimes. I just realized the wind is not good. Is that the buck, though? It is. That's a mature 1-star. Another call buck. About 200 yards out. Bojack, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate the pre-release footage. I'm glad, man. It's been really fun to work with so far. So I want to highlight something. You see how that buck's just got a crab claw on his right side? His right side. Left side's a little bit better. I think that's a perfect example of a mature 1-star buck. A buck that's maybe past his prime, but obviously still growing antlers. Does he know we're here? He's going to now. You know, one thing I have found interesting as well, the ballistics seem to actually work best on deer. Like, the elk went down darn near immediately. I've noticed that with some other species as well. The deer, though, is just like real life. Do you think this is more of a spot and stock or stand hunting kind of game? It can be both. I've had some success from stands where I've been able to just climb into a stand and just kind of hang around. And eventually deer do end up moving through, whether they're, you know, going to a zone or coming from a zone or whatever it may be. But I think primarily spot and stock is going to be the way to go. So this should be a better representation of what the tracking is normally like. The elk, not so much. Oh. Maybe not, because we did not get him that good. So my best guess would be we shot him in the shoulder and didn't get the proper penetration. So fair chance we actually don't find him, but we'll give it a try. So you can see with the hunter sense on, tracks kind of highlight from a distance. I know I saw one up here somewhere. Where did it go? Could have gone past it. And I'm not even... Was that it? Yeah. I'm not even 100% sure that that's the one that I saw. So we'll just kind of scoot along and see if we can end up finding him again. But I'm going to guess that's not going to kill him. What's up, Hello? Has anyone tried co-op? I don't know if there's been any videos done on the co-op yet. What is this? Bear tracks. Nice. Next track is where maybe I should have gone 300 taking a shot like that. So you can shoot deer with a larger than recommended caliber. The thing is, you'll get a lot of meat wastage, naturally, and you won't be able to sell that deer for as much. I also wonder, and this has been brought up, in a situation like this, where a bad shot has been made on a mature deer, would that kind of speed up the aging process? Would they be more likely to die? Because they do die of old age in this game as well. Is there a 308? There is. Now I gotta go back to square one here and try to start marking out the tracks as I go. There is a fast travel as well. Yeah, you can fast travel to... I'll show you actually. You can fast travel to any of the cabins, and you can also fast travel to campsites that you can encounter along the map. Maybe that's our next track? A little bit of blood in the grass. Is there stamina? There is not. You can run as long as you want. There is like a limit on how long you can hold your breath. I don't know if you kind of lump that in with stamina, but yeah, nothing preventing you from sprinting for like an hour straight, let's say. Drew, thank you for the super chat. Will animals kill other animals? I don't know. There are wolves in the game, so you could maybe expect something like that, but I haven't seen any indication of anything like that happening. Not having much luck with the tracking. It does sometimes get better when you're in the shade, because you can kind of see how those highlight. In the sun, it doesn't always show up the best. I'm probably just going to hazard to guess that mule deer is not going to die. So what we'll do instead is sneak to the top of the hill, see if maybe they're still hanging around. And if we can see him again, we'll get another shot. Otherwise, probably something we'll have to hope to find later. What's causing that blur? This is the hunter sense. Similar maybe to Red Dead Redemption 2 if you're familiar with it. What is that called? Deadeye, I think? Basically, it helps you to locate tracks. I really wish it didn't do the blurring thing. It's kind of annoying, but it is what it is. Is motion blur on? There is a motion blur, but I think I have that off. How far is the render distance? Animal render is 800 yards depending on your settings. Do they have a 270 in the game? I don't think so. Just trying to relax now. Genuinely was about to have a panic attack before the embargo lifted. Making sure you're not out there dropping content before the embargo was over. Do you figure it's safe to pre-order? I would do it. I'll be honest. Having gotten to play the game as much as I have over the course of the last couple of days, making content and all that, is really fun. I think, you know, regardless of what version you end up buying, like how much you spend, you're going to get your money back. It's just, or I should say, you're going to get your money's worth is probably the way to say it. It's really, really fun. Andrew, thank you for the super chat, by the way. Certainly appreciate the support. What's up? Good to see you again. Hope you're having a good day. I'm having a great day, man. This game has been so much fun. It's been difficult to stay quiet about how much fun it is, so I'm glad that we finally get to show it. What is the difference between the games? Assuming that we're talking Call of the Wild versus Way of the Hunter here, Way of the Hunter is a lot more realistic in terms of the way you hunt. I would say some of the animal models are more realistic. The shooting and ballistics generally is more realistic. Call of the Wild, if you want to, you know, go out and find animals, you're going to find a lot more animals in that game. And of course, you know, I would say the The environment itself, graphically, is still better than Call of the Wild. Just depends on the type of game you're wanting to play. Is the pace of the game more like Classic? It might actually be slower than Classic. It depends on what you're hunting, really. Some stuff you're gonna find animals very frequently. Some things I've hunted, like red deer, for instance, for over an hour without finding stuff. Darn it. That's probably them. I say we leave that buck. Bummer, but it happens. Does it have DLSS or AMD FSR? I don't know what that means. Are you going to play this more than Call of the Wild? I'll tell you this much. There's going to be a ton of Way of the Hunter content over the next 4 days until the official release. I don't know that I'll play it more than Call of the Wild, but I would say at least in the near future it'll probably be about the same amount as Call of the Wild. Is there early access if I buy it now? No. Early access was specific to, I think, creators they chose, basically. I don't know how it worked. Your wife got a 5-star Red Deer user first? That's ridiculous. Are you sick or tired? I am not. I may sound slightly different. Mostly from walking around outside, getting the trail camera cards and all that. Allergy probs. Slower than Classic that has my smile to my ear? Or ear to ear? I guess that's kind of the same thing. Yeah, to me it feels slower than Classic. It does. Your first whitetail was at 5-star? That's nuts. I'll have a video for my first whitetail as well later on today, so interesting we had a similar experience there. I do still see a deer. That is not the correct distance. 400 yards away. Now the thing is where they are. And I've noticed deer have a tendency to do this. A lot of species do. They really do consider, well, I'm sure the deer aren't considering it, but the devs considered where to have the deer go. They look for, like, terrain features. I've noticed red deer tend to be, like, in valleys or, like, I can't think of the right word. When you've got on a hillside, like where it all comes to the lowest point, they kind of tend to be in that a lot. And these deer obviously have this steeper, not cliff, but steep, small guy to their backs. Keeps them kind of hidden. How can I fix the blurry screen on stream? Is it still blurry? Odd. Can you get this game on Xbox? You can get it on Xbox Series S or X. I have gotten myself stuck. Help. There we go. But it is not on the older gen consoles, unfortunately. Is there hunting pressure? I think there might be a form of hunting pressure, but there's no visible map hunting pressure. It's just hunter sense? Yeah, from a content perspective, hunter sense is not the best. What is your max shot distance? Not that far. I've tried some longer shots, and we can attempt it today, but you tend to lose a lot of your hit energy at long ranges. So there's a cool thing, actually. If we aim in here, and then we use the hunter sense, we will get a approximation of the energy that the bullet's going to have when it impacts. It's going to be about 2,450 joules when we hit at that range. I think a deer requires 1,500 to kill it, but it's like 1,500 when it hits a lung. So you've got to factor in that you're going to lose a little bit before you hit the lung. At 250 we could kill one. At 300 probably we could kill one, but I don't know. I didn't know about this till yesterday, but it says animals will stay away from certain areas for a bit if you hunt them too often. Yeah, there's a little, like a tutorial thingy hint that tells you that, right? Can animals attack you, and can you die in general? I believe animals can rarely attack you. And there is a form of fall damage. I'll see if I can get that to happen for us later on in the hunt as well. Currently going after elk, bighorn, and mountain goats. Nice. Were you in here when we shot the elk a bit ago? Finally got one. I was really, really happy with the model. Game looks amazing. Not only, I don't know if you're talking like graphically, not only does it look amazing, it is really that good to play. I don't know how well it can translate in a stream, and especially I think still, you know, I've gotten to play for 25-ish hours now, but I'm still pretty unfamiliar with a lot of stuff. I'm sure I'm making plenty of mistakes, so I'm probably not finding as many animals as I optimally could. So it could probably come through even better on stream as just how good it is, but with limited experience, maybe it even could be better, I guess is what I'm trying to get at. I thought the mature elk that we shot, Scarecrow, that was a 1-star, was pretty decent even. Stay tuned, I'm gonna yeet off a cliff. Don't leave me yet. Good things will happen when a cliff appears. Does the rain look good? Have I seen rain yet? I don't recall having rain, actually. Will you hunt ducks on today's stream? We can try. I'm gonna be honest, the duck hunting is not special. It's more like hunt around, and if a duck happens to fly by, you can blast it with a shotgun. Do you think at some point we could get a list of all the calibers? I went over them earlier, if you want to check them out. I don't remember how long ago in the stream. Are you going to do more content on Way the Hunter than Call the Wild? I hope Way the Hunter will replace Call the Wild content. I would say they may get to a point where it's about even. It's going to be a good thing for sure, though, going into hunting season, because one thing that's tough is coming up with, say, like 4 Call the Wild videos in a row in hunting season when I'm already tired, I'm already thinking about the next morning, you know, I gotta get up early. What am I gonna do in Call the Wild? And it can be a little tough to come up with content ideas, so Way the Hunter will definitely help there. Yeah, definitely some stuff needs smoothed out, but they've done a really good job. I'm quite impressed that, you know, on launch, ooh, goodness, stood up for a second. On launch, it's this good. My wife was spooking them out of need zones and shooting them as they flushed out. Yeah, but that's, I guess what I'm saying is that's not really how you would duck hunt. Overall, how's the game feel? Really, really good. I think the deer are the shining example of like how much work's gone into the game. Some of the other species, like the small game in particular, maybe isn't as perfect, but it's still pretty fun. Puddle jump for ducks. That's more or less what's going on. I don't understand the crawling mode. It's horrible. I don't know. The animation is pretty realistic. It's kind of slow. Do bushes and stuff keep you hidden? I don't know. Have you seen any badgers? The first thing you do in a tutorial is shoot badgers. I think I've maybe seen one since. Imagine the drives in this game. It'll be interesting to see how the animal pathing works. Are you excited for the angler? Yes. Will there be rare fur types? I don't know like for sure which ones, but somebody asked in Discord and they did say there will be rares. Just gonna crouch a couple meters here. Get out past that. No sounds. So there is a thing as well, even calm animals can make sound if they're feeding in the trees or, you know, in brush that would be noisy. You can actually hear that too. Important question, I have seen next to nothing on this game other than hearing Call of the Wild tubers mention it. Is it a more realistic hunting simulator similar to how Classic is more realistic? I would probably argue it's even more realistic than Classic in terms of the actual hunting gameplay and hunting mechanics, strategy, stuff like that. Now, if you're after a realistic hunting game, this is probably the one to go with. I'm not sure. I'll be interested to see like what the overall response is, because I do think, much like what Classic reviews on Steam often said, I think there's going to be a bunch of game is too boring, can't find any animals type of reviews. And that's cool. Oh, okay, they're a little further than I thought. But that was a little bleat over there. Alright, we can scooch ourselves along maybe a little bit. Couple meters till we go back to crawling. But yeah, I do think there's going to be a lot of people that aren't patient enough for it, and that's fine. Like, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's catering to a very simulation-driven audience, I think. Nice bottom boy. What's your FPS like? Generally 60 on high preset. I have had... Ah, dang it. Did they spook? Sounds like they spooked. Ah. Should have just kept crawling. I guess this is a pretty good indicator of how difficult it can be to get animals, though. Kind of tempted to try to smoke. That's a decent buck. Very dark looking. Do I do it? I don't think I'm going to do it. I think we might wait and see if they end up slowing back down. Darn. I didn't know there were that many bucks in there. Still more coming out of here. Oh, hello. 2-star mature? That's actually not as big as I thought, but it's a tough deal. If you make a bad shot, they're really hard to find, so I think we're going to let them and see if we can do better. Swamp bug? Felt that way. Is there an audio meter, like an indication of how much sound we're making? There is not. Do animals have different sizes? Do you mean like... will body size change based on weight? I don't think there's that. Does anybody know? Hey, TK. Are we all good, by the way, for the premiere? Everything set up? I should really ask that, not when I'm already streaming. Running looks super nice. I wish the animation was... Or do you mean the deer? You probably mean the deer. I wish the human running animation was arms swinging more so than an up and down sort of deal, but, you know, nitpicking at that point. More elk. Forget the deer. Let's keep hunting these guys. Okay, whoa, that was weird. Kind of decent-ish. Kind of decent-ish. I don't know what just happened to that one. Sunk into the ground a little bit. That one's not bad. Okay, so let's see. If we turn on the hunter sense, this is approximately, what, 350 yards? We would have 4,000 joules. So in theory, enough to kill an elk. You guys wanted to see a long shot? Should we try it? 400 yards even. You can zero to basically any range. Let's try it. We tried Transylvania today. We can. Zero for 430 yards. We need one standing absolutely still in broadside before we do this, though. Do it? Alright, we'll do it. That one there's probably the best one that's just feeding. I wanted to stand stiller. Looked smoked. Now which... Yep, that's him there. Kind of stumbling. I think we actually got him. Meanwhile, I can't kill a mule deer at 100 yards, but that's my own shooting problems. And he's just going to bed out there. Cool. I have been selling the abilities of these guns short. But rifle, this is the 300 Win Mag. It's actually not very expensive. 3,900 credits. Which, if you're shooting a bunch of, say, let's say average mule deer bucks, 9, 10, and you're there, the reactions, aren't they the best? I can't get over, like, when you see how a deer or many animals react to getting shot, and then you see that simulated in game, it just makes you feel like you're there. Can you swim? You cannot swim. And you probably shouldn't be able to swim with guns on your back. By the way, a cool thing, let me get the binoculars. A cool thing and also an annoying thing. Your guns are actually on your back. Well, the scope's colliding is kind of odd, but I just wish there were actual slings there, because there aren't. But I don't know. Again, nitpicking. Animals behave quite realistically. Everything from the way they calmly behave as they're, you know, feeding around, or you'll see them bedding in their feeding areas, stuff like that, to the reactions of being shot, and even reactions just of getting spooked. Everything is really, really well done. How fast do you guys think the price of the game will drop? It's likely to do pretty well for a while, so I don't think anytime soon. Photo mode? Remind me to take a picture of this elk when we get there. I am so bad at remembering to take photos, and it's fantastic. I showed it off in today's video, but I'll show it again here on stream. You playing the Euro Reserve? We can go there if you guys want. I've got a spot where it's a weird deal because like videos are pre-recorded, obviously. Like I've got content 2 videos a day up through Sunday, and it's gonna be an odd thing where, like, I've got a video that's saying, you know, first trip to Pennsylvania, and yet we'll have been here on stream, but yeah, it is what it is. Take a photo, you noob. Thanks, thanks. Oh, wait, auto walk. Cool, I can take a drink now. IRL filmer forgets to film in photo more at 6. Yeah, I should really... You'd think I'd be better at that. Have you put anything in your lodge yet? In both lodges, I have at least one animal. Do you have a filter on? No. Ready to hunt the damn frogs? I feel it. Would you say this is easier or harder than Call of the Wild? I think that can be a... I'd probably say harder, I guess, to answer your question first. I think that can be a difficult to answer question, because it's not necessarily that it's harder. I would say that it's more time consuming. Like, you're just not going to find as many animals in the same period of time as you would in Call of the Wild, but the payoff is so much better. And it's the reason that, you know, you'll hear people rave about Classic. The payoff of getting a trophy animal in these games that are more difficult, it just doesn't compare. And again, I'm not trying to speak badly about any other hunting game. Call of the Wild's great. People love it. So do I. But you can't... I don't know that there's a way to even describe the feeling of, like, find say a 5-star animal in this game, make the shot after, you know, all the stalking and trying to get into the right position and all that stuff. And then the recovery, because the tracking in this game, it is not like... you know, run along and follow it. I've had plenty of blood trails that are crouch from blood to blood. What's up, Lucky? Can you hunt the frogs? I wish. It's crazy how these Call of the Wild players don't know about Classic. I think, you know, those that are on console, that happens. Somebody asked for a 500-yard shot, by the way. Should we try it here? I think these are the same whitetail. Now, actually, I don't know if the 7mm Mod 8 has good enough hit energy at that range. We can... That's a mule deer. We can find out, though, just by aiming in. Hit energy is 2,300 joules. Now, you see that other red dot on my scope, low and right? That is an indication of the wind. You can turn stuff like that off. In fact, I think if you go... Where do I need to go? I forget. There's a place... Must be in settings. Is it game? Yeah, you can turn off some different little things, and you can also change the in the main menu. You can change the difficulty mode, I guess is the way to say that. But I'll leave it on. I think it's good for visualization, especially as you watch on the stream. Can you play stands? You cannot, at least right now. What's up, G? What game is this? This is Way the Hunter, a brand new hunting game coming out in 4 days. Hey, G, I got an elk for you. Good timing. Have you shot a 5-star? I guess that'll remain to be seen in future videos. Not in today's stream, though. What's up, Jackson? Alright, let's see if this elk actually died in a somewhat open area for a picture. Not too bad. Can make that work. Little guy, but I don't even remember. Or no, we couldn't even spot them. I have no idea what this is. So what you do generally for taking a picture is try to position your character. I think that brush is going to be odd, so let's see if we can sit kind of back here behind the elk. Go into photo mode. Probably going to be a little bit tough with the grass, but I love... There's a sense of scale with the animals that I don't think a lot of games get right. We actually have that again with the white outline. Is it just the distance from the animal? Oh, it is. Gosh, I've been stupid this entire time. I couldn't figure out what made that come up. How'd I make it go away? I don't want to be that far back. A lot of times the way that I've taken my photos has been something like this, so that I'm not facing the animal and therefore there is no outline. But I think in this case, because of that brush, might be kind of tough to do that. Maybe we can kind of make it work. I don't know, I just want to see more of the actual animal, so it'll be alright. The white outline's going to be there. Actually, maybe if I look far enough up. Oh dear. Saw the brim of the hat. That's not terrible. Not a huge elk, so I'm not going to get too worried about getting a really good photo, but we'll just kind of scoot in like this maybe. And then the other things you can do, you can actually change the time of day. So if we go to the correct thing anyway, we'll find one where the lighting is best. Really lights up the elk nicely at 10. We'll do that. I like to get the lighting on the character's face too, but I think we're going to call that good. Alright, so what did we actually shoot? They look so good, don't they? I'm so impressed. Lungs at... how far? 406 yards. And the first lung we had plenty of energy still. Second lung we weren't too far below the recommended energy. And obviously hitting the far side rib or shoulder rib with basically no energy left, but not bad. That was a adult, 70% genetics, not too bad. Still only a 1-star rating, so let's sell that too. And if we can find ourselves in position to take a 500-yard shot, since you guys want to see it, we can try it. Smaller target, deer versus elk, but we'll see what we can do. Weather bows, what's the dealio? So I haven't seen much of a difference in weather at any time, which I'm okay with that. Rain in any game just annoys me, so if there is no rain, I'm not going to complain about that. Bows, I think, are maybe a future planned DLC, but as of now, there are no bows. I don't think we're going to get to 500 yards. I can't even... like, I'm ranging a tree branch. What are we spooking? Oh, bear. So you see all these different things. That's not a bunch of different bears. That's just every time that bear is crashing through branches and stuff, we hear that sound, and that's what those little indications are. It's not like 20 bears just took off. The first time I saw that, I was very worried, thinking there was a group of bears. Danny, thank you for the super chat. Back to RA training. Hopefully we'll be back at 2:30. Sounds good. Hopefully we'll still be going. Alright, I don't know. I don't think we're going to get a 500 shot here. Maybe we can do it elsewhere, but unfortunately here, I'm not seeing the opportunity to get a shot at that range. So we'll go for something that's a little more clear, make sure we get a buck. What does the genetics mean? It basically influences how big the deer can get, or elk in that case. I'm not super sure how it works yet, but I think a combination of actually, most of us know the combination of the fitness and the genetics is what determines how big they are. I don't know what the percentage means yet. I don't know if it is the percentage of like what's possible for that deer, or you know, like what the actual indication is. Try the 300 on deer, we can do that. Yeah, I did see those 4 difficulties. I'm perfectly happy at this setting, to be honest. I think I'll mostly play it this way. JM Kirk, thank you for the 2 months. Welcome back. The game does look amazing, man. It's so much fun. 1-star adult. 1-star adult. I think this one's a little bigger. 300 on deer probably is going to take it down pretty quickly, but we shall see. You want to step out of there? Or stand up, that works too. Don't like the angle. If he would stand still for just a second. Look, oh yeah, he's absolutely crushed. Not going anywhere with the 300 hit. So you'll see the difference. There's an incentive to not just shoot every deer with a 300 Win Mag. Look at the blood at that distance. Can still see it out there. And didn't even bed down, just tipped over dead. Could totally see a hardcore series being made on the highest difficulty. I don't know if that'll be something I'd end up messing with much, but some people are definitely going to do it. This is adventure difficulty, yes. Love that kick from the lung hit. I'm telling you, man, it's those little things. It's just like, whoever made this game either has hunted or has talked to a lot of people that have. Because when the deer react just like in real life when they get hit, there's been a lot of care and time taken to really make you feel like it's a real simulation, I guess. Not that serious. I mean, you can record that if you want, but I'm not going to watch it. Love the animations of animals going down. I would like to see some other death animations, because I felt like it kind of finished running and then more or less ragdolled, but I don't know. I'll have to look at that again. I didn't look that close. How does the Africa map look? We don't have an Africa map at the moment. We have... That's 360 yards. We have North America and Transylvania. That is another buck. Why not? A whitetail buck, in fact. 360, that said. Oh, God. I want to make sure we aim a little high. Shadow here's something. Oh, God. Just smoked. And something's going running off. More deer, probably. Do we need to mark that? I'm afraid we're going to lose it on the way over there, but we should be okay. It just started raining? Okay, so there is weather. And it must be very rare, which is probably good. I've seen them bed down and die after about a minute. Yeah, they do that. And they do indeed get back up if you just go running right in. It's really cool. Hardcore mode spooks as soon as you spawn? That sounds about right. Does anyone know if you'll be able to play this on a regular Xbox One? It's only going to be on the newest gen of consoles. So that's your Xbox Series X and S, PS5, and obviously on PC. Unfortunately, not available for last gen, which it's a bummer. I really wish more people would be able to play. The other side of that coin is it does hold back development when they do that. So, I don't know. Here's what I've said about it. Why can't I claim you? Okay, got it to work. 54 pounds of meat wastage, by the way, when you shoot a deer with a 300. So you make your credits based on the market price, which is $1.50 a pound, and of the 221 pounds, only 167 are usable because the bullet ruined a whole bunch of it. I know that's maybe a little bit unrealistic to lose 50 pounds from a 300 Win Mag, but you know they got to de-incentivize always just using the biggest gun. Anyway, what was I saying? I forget. Hold on. See if I can find that. Oh yeah, the Xbox thing. In order to have any chance of competing with games like Call of the Wild and Classic, and just being able to even tread water in a market that's been dominated by EW games, they just could not afford to hold back development in something like last-gen consoles, as much as it sucks. Okay, where was that deer? I knew this was going to happen. We may need to go back and see it from a distance. I know it was like up here somewhere. Sounds like Kyla and her dad made it back, so hopefully they got the part they needed. Do the prices fluctuate depending on how much of the same meat you provide to the market? I don't know, and I hope they do. Did you find a rabbit? I did not. I found elk and deers, though. We shot a pretty decent buck, absolutely dropped him in his tracks, and I can't figure out where it was because I had a different deer marked. There's a way to place a second marker, and I should have done that. I know it's up on this hillside. That's where the other deer was. It had to have been like out that way because it was a farther shot. Although did we have to run around to claim him? I don't remember. I know the very pink blood's going to be visible whenever we get far enough away. G for Geronimo. Yes. In the open to the right? Was it up there? I could be blind. Very real chance of that. I'm gonna... because I think it was like 240 meters to the dead deer when we shot him at 360. Is there any skill progression? Yes. A bunch of things you can do to increase its perks in this game, but basically the same thing. Is that it right there? Yeah. Okay. So I'll go through that real quick just to show it. You have a bunch of perks you can earn by doing things in the game. If you're, killing, say you get 10 lung, artery, or heart hits with a break action shotgun, you'll have a 20% hold breath length increase. Bunch of stuff like that. Frogleg, thank you for the super chat. Hi from PA. You're the reason I keep playing Call of the Wild. That's awesome, man. PA representing in here as well. Is this game going to be on Game Pass? I have absolutely no idea. It might be. The animations look more like Classic or Call of the Wild. I'd say more like Call of the Wild, but way more realistic than Call of the Wild. Does that make sense? Like, Classic doesn't have a bunch of hit animations and such. Call of the Wild does, but they're probably not the best. There is no character customization that I'm aware of. I'm hoping, because there's multiplayer, I'm hoping there's a character customization at least for that eventually. Zachary, thank you for the super chat as well. Love your videos, watch them daily. That's awesome, man. I appreciate you. I think the problem was, he's just on the downhill side here. But look at the blood just painting this grass up here. From that 300 Win Mag shot. That's not a bad deer. I don't know if it's going to be a great photo opportunity because of the grass, but let's see what we can do here. I need to get more used to taking the pictures. That is going to be tough, though. I mean, there's a way to do it. What if we look kind of up? That's not too bad. All things considered, we can work with that. Kind of just find ourselves a spot where it looks reasonably realistic. Try to get some of the grass away from the deer's face. Call that good. I really like, there's no like in-game take picture button, you just use your screenshot key, which is awesome, like whether you're on console or anything else. Spine shot, by the way, and lung that dropped him. That's pretty sweet that he dropped immediately because of the spine. But you see too, it hit that huge, massive bone, and the hit energy just died. Really, really cool thing. But anyway, you know, whether you're on console or PC, you still have that that ability to take a screenshot. I know in Call of the Wild, like using the in-game camera, it can be a bit of a pain to deal with that. That's not a factor here. 400 credits from that. Welcome home. Oh my goodness, a toy?
Yeah.
That is one lucky dog. Oh, thank you. Can you try to do a hard shot? We hard shot a mule deer buck right at the start of the stream, but we can maybe attempt that. See if we can find anything else. Really have shot off this area pretty good, but no complaints there. Did you guys find the thing you were looking for?
No. Since we got groceries, like the bacon and stuff, we thought it would take too long, so we dropped me off here.
Oh, okay.
And then he's going to do all that.
Oh, cool.
He knows where everything is.
Alright. Did we get you a toy? I don't know what shop you think they were at. Bullet ballistics look really neat and pretty well detailed. That's the first time I've hit a deer in the spine, and to see that hit energy just absolutely nosedive after going through a massive bone, it's just the amount of things they've thought of. I've got, is it later today? It is. There's a thing that happens that I don't want to spoil, unless I happen to do it by accident today. And again, it just speaks of the detail in the ballistics and everything that goes into the shots. Can we train... Kyla came here and I can't talk, I blame her. Can we change track color? There is no track color really to change. You'll notice like you don't see any like cones or anything lit up. The only thing is like you can see in a situation like this, we have bear tracks. They'll kind of light up almost a yellowish color, very similar to Red Dead's Deadeye, but no like track and cone or anything. That was pure luck that I happened to use the hunter sense and there was a track right there, by the way. So sad I won't be able to run this. You know, it's got different settings levels. You could maybe run it on low graphics. I don't know what your setup is, but it has surprised me with how, I guess, graphically demanding it is. But that's good too. That means there's a bunch of detail and such. Super hyped for Pennsylvania hunting season this year. I got a 10.38 on my property. How about you? Okay, so lots of stuff has happened in the last like 2 days actually in terms of that. You know, I don't know if you've watched any of my hunting videos, but the buck that walked underneath my tree stand in 2020, it would have been, the bladed 9. A lot of you guys have heard us talk about it. We encountered that deer in rifle season last year, and Kyla wasn't able to get a shot. It kind of headed up the hill. We heard a gunshot. Then we heard a four-wheeler, and it was just... I thought the gunshot was a different direction, but the four-wheeler really made it be like, well, I guess I misheard. My brother filmed that buck out in the field yesterday, or 2 days ago? It was Wednesday night, huh? He's bigger than he ever was. So, and he's probably 7 years old, so that's awesome. He's a 9 point again. He was an 8 point last year, now he's a 9. And one of the bucks that we had on camera last year on this property, which I think is only a 3.5-year-old this year, which is, I'll take a 3.5-year-old deer in PA. It has really packed on some mass. He's got main beams that are almost touching in the front. Really, really nice deer. About cried here in the four-wheeler. Yeah, that was rough.
Bad. I didn't go. Did I even go hunting the next day? I think I was so upset about everything.
No, you did, because that was...
I did not want to be there.
Yeah, we left at like 10 a.m. We didn't hunt long. Because we came back here, ended up moving the camera because of seeing deer tracks, and then got a huge male on camera. I've been having a ton of fun, Ben. This game has been such a blast. We've been very fortunate this stream as well. I've had plenty of hunts where I haven't been as successful as I've been so far this stream. League PLG, thank you for the super chat. Do brain shots make your yield more? They probably should, huh? We could try it. So brain shots actually will ruin the trophy. You can't taxidermize an animal if you shoot it in the brain, which I don't know enough about taxidermy. If you blow up the skull plate, can they still salvage it? Maybe. But I think it's a good thing, again, to kind of incentivize ethical hunting. You'll have different opinions on that, whether or not brain shots are ethical. I tend to kind of be of the opinion that there's just too much of a chance the deer can move for me to take that shot. But if someone's really good at it and confident enough and does it every time, then like I'm not going to really judge. There are neck shots, by the way. You can neck shot as well. I didn't pay attention though. I did that once. It was an accident, so I wasn't inclined to check and see what the meat wastage was, but there is neck meat anyway, so you could theoretically have some wastage there. Sure they could glue the skull back together? Probably. It might end up looking a little goofy, but I think they could do it. The money is based only on weight, not trophy. Yeah, so your money is actually... There's a whole story behind the game. There's actually like a campaign thing you can play, which I have not messed with. But the whole story is... Your grandpa has a wild game restaurant or something like that, and you're selling the meat to that restaurant. So only based on weight, and I should even go further and say only based on not wasted meat. Every shot is going to waste a couple pounds of meat. You know, if you've ever shot a deer in real life, you'll know that with blood clotting and different things that happen in the course of the wound channel as well, you're going to lose a bit. If you make a gut shot in this game, you lose a lot. And a lot of times if you gut shoot a deer in real life, and especially if we're going to use that meat for a restaurant, a lot of that can go to waste. All these things they've considered in this game. I think actually, what were you guys asking me to do? There was something about going back to the lodge. Although that was to showcase... Oh, it was for a caller, actually. Let's do that. Go and buy a deer call. That's also true, Bottom Boy. You've sold capes of bucks to taxidermists before? I didn't even know you could do that. Smart. Can you still explore the areas they said were locked? You can explore them, you just can't shoot animals there. Or actually, you can't claim animals there. I think you can shoot them, but that's probably not something you want to do. Okay, we're going to go to gear. I wonder... Do we buy better binoculars? Why the heck not? Let's see how good those are. Lens quality from low to high. Oh, yeah. Binoculars, please. And then... We're just going to go on a shopping spree. Do they have a Primo sponsorship? They must. I can't imagine they'd have that name right up there. Now that calls in... fallow deer, too. So... I'll show you something about these colors in a second. Do I want to buy the elk call as well? We may run into more elk. Alright, all the things. So now we need to unequip that. We want to equip our two colors. Oh, not like that, we don't. Okay. So, once we get out of here, there's a thing with the colors, and I'll talk about this in Sunday's video, but happy to talk about it again here. We can only do this doe grunt, which is only going to attract females. Which is odd, it probably should attract males, but I understand what they're going for, and maybe you could argue that's a fawn bleat. Kind of sounds like a doe bleat to me. Anyway, irrelevant. What we can do, as we unlock a particular thing, is better colors. So once we've sold 10 called animals, the second level calls are available. And then once we've sold 30 called animals, the 3rd level calls. And then this one is for hunting stands. So basically, shooting those that we call in is going to allow us to have better calls. So I think what we're actually going to do is go to maybe this campsite and head south. Oh, I didn't change the binoculars. Yep, thank you guys. Thank goodness you guys are smarter than me. I'm gonna, not only did I forget, I wouldn't have remembered the entire stream. I'd have just been like, yep, these are the binoculars, it's fine. Appreciate you guys. Why are there no games with private lane hunts where I can plant food plots and things? Yeah, I think that's a game I'd like to see in the future. A lot of the mechanics in this game could maybe allow for something like that to be built off what they already have here. Okay, how much better are these binoculars? Let's see. The extra 2 power zoom is going to be nice. Oh, I feel like the field of view is way better. I say a worthwhile investment. Do we want to instead take the Jeep? Let's do it. We'll take the Jeep and go a couple hundred meters anyway. Maybe about yards, I should say. Maybe about a mile. Wouldn't it be interesting if Call of the Wild had trail cameras? I think any hunting game with trail cameras could be a really cool idea. If they were able to, make them work properly, I think that's the tough thing. How you work with that would be tough. Smoke a small boy with the Jeep? You can indeed run over animals with the Jeep. I don't know if Mel made a video about that. I know she had mentioned it. Do you think this is closer to Classic or Call of the Wild? Way closer to Classic, and I would even argue a bit more realistic than Classic. Which is a very high bar. The only thing... Whoa, okay, that was 12 out of 12 driving right there. The only thing that Classic has on this game that's really going to go in Classic's favor is the scoring in this game is like a amalgamation of CCI and Boone and Crockett. And I hate to make it sound as negative as the phrase sounds, but it's kind of a nonsensical scoring system. Like if I get a whitetail that scores 400, that means nothing to me. I wish they had just chosen one or the other. That is rather annoying, Psycho. Trail cameras would actually be helpful in this with the aging mechanic, true. I don't know if the deer would have enough unique features to really know what's what, but still. Do the animals just ragdoll when you hit a drop shot, or is there some kicks and flips? There's a ton of something right there. Why are they just chilling? Did they just spawn in? Something must have happened. Because that doesn't make any sense. Okay. Not going to question it. Just going to see if we can do a little calling. When's the release date? August 16th. Ron gave it an 8.5 out of 10. I'm somewhere in the 8.5 to 9 range. I think realistic scoring would be... It would really help to have a more realistic scoring system, but they've hit on a lot of the most important factors in my mind. Have we figured out the genetics thing yet? I certainly haven't. All I know is higher percentage on the genetics must be a good thing. That says it attracts females. Does it not attract males as well? I don't think so, but once we killed 10 animals with the... I guess 10 animals that are attracted to the call, then in theory we can have the calls that are going to attract the males as well. I haven't figured out what this bar means, by the way. I don't know how that works. Oh, gee. Do the animals attack? There are animals that can attack. In your opinion, what's better, the Hunter Call of the Wild or this game? It's going to be such a matter of opinion. I think... Oh, dear. Look at that. They're coming right in. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get them. They're on the move. Goodness. She definitely saw us. That was awesome. Can I get one of you guys? That was a bad shot. I should never do that. It never goes well. Wait, what? Where did we hit that? It had to be spine. Look at the blood, though. Oh my... Okay. That's fine. Up on the leaves and stuff? Is that not the coolest thing? Did you see how that deer reacted to you sitting there? What was the reaction? I might not have. Okay. What happened? I must know. Hit him in the spine. I don't love that that's an insta-kill. I think maybe down the road there could be something else there. Because we didn't hit the artery down here. Now, maybe part of it. You see this cavity damage here? The stuff highlighted in red? There's actually more cavity damage than anything. So what may have happened is that the shockwave from the bullet ruptured this artery, and that could be the reason that he immediately died. I'd love to see a spine shot without a vital hit. I don't know what happens there. But, yeah, that happened. I wasn't ready for that. What is the icon near the spine? I'm sorry, I missed that. Was it just like a bone? By the way, again, blood all over these branches and stuff. I love the blood trailing in this game. It's not like there's any limit. The blood literally falls out of the animal, and whatever's there, branches, rocks, trees, saplings, blood is on that thing. It's the coolest thing. That's actually cool they added the artery. That was the thing I didn't want to spoil. I'll accidentally hit a deer in that artery in a video later today, and you'll see me freak out because I'm so impressed that that's a thing. Where do we go from here? Do we cross? Pheasant over there. Oh, hello. There's a margin across. Let's see. This is what I love, though. I mentioned earlier, it's not just like sprint after a blood trail. I think I just saw it laying up there dead. But you really do have to take your time finding it. There's the next blood there. And I thought I saw a white hind end of a deer. Or was it that? Might have been that, okay. Let's then assume, based on this blood, yeah, it did go this way. TTK100, thank you for the super chat. When will this be released, and will it come to console? By the way, love your videos. Thank you, man. So this will be released on August 16th, just a couple days away, which is awesome. I'm glad they did the early access just like a couple of days. And it will be on the newest gen of consoles, so Xbox Series S and X and PS5. Not on last gen, unfortunately, but I mentioned earlier, developing for multiple generations always limits development. And in order to be able to at least tread water in this niche that's so dominated by EW games, it was probably best they just didn't let anything hold them back. Look at that. Our first deer that we called in. Sweet. Is there no rack score? Yeah, so the score is a little bit weird. This looks like an older doe, was it? It was a young doe, actually. Something about the face made it look old. So there is a score, but we can't see it because this is a doe. The score is not my favorite part of this game. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I can try to show that in a little bit. I'd still love to know why those deer didn't spook from the Jeep, because I've spooked deer from so much farther by just running along. Maybe vehicles don't always spook them, though. That's a little worrying, Hellbrink. How much does the game cost? I think it's $39.99. Cool thing, by the way. The blood does not just go away because you found the deer. Which, obviously, realism-wise, that's what you'd expect. You even get a little bit of blood coming up onto the rock. This game will not work on Xbox One. There is no Xbox One version of the game. Don't forget to test brain shots. I shall try. I was waiting to buy the game, but I just may have to now. I've ranted and raved in basically every video that I've made about how all these details just make you feel like you're there, just make it feel so realistic. I really enjoy it. I don't know that, you know, maybe in a month when some of the, oh my god, this is amazing, you know, there's blood on a sapling stuff wears off, I'm curious to see what I think then, because there's always that, like, shiny new thing kind of, mental side of it, where you just, when something is completely different than what you expect, it's always going to be fun. But I do think there's a great deal of replayability here, mostly because of the variation in antlers and, quite honestly, the difficulty in finding trophies. With the difficulty, is it like Deer Hunter where you can't kill the biggest males unless you're on the hardest difficulty? I've had 5-star animals on this difficulty, and that's all I will say. I don't want to go further because I don't want to spoil what it may be. How many maps? There are 2 maps on release. One, obviously here in North America. One in Transylvania. Goodness gracious, caught you live, but it's 3 a.m.? I feel it. RHD is a real problem. You should bring attention to it. What is RHD? Does that stand for Raptor Hunting Dog? Like my dog? Bet you got a 5-star badger? I can tell you it is not a 5-star badger. You think it'll come to old gen someday? Do games that released on next gen consoles or new gen consoles ever come out on old games? I don't know. Or on old gen? Spooked some mule deer. Darn. Easy to do though. A 5-star rabbit? I haven't seen a rabbit yet. Rabbit hemorrhagic disease? I think you should bring attention to that. One in Transylvania and Romania, indeed. Really fun map too. Some of you guys were asking to go there. How long is this stream going to be? 3.5 hours? If we go that long? Maybe in 15 minutes we'll switch. Go give that map a look. Definitely a 5-star fox. Not a fox. Love how all IRL hunting techniques can apply to this game. There's been, on a number of occasions, where something will happen and I'll be like, well, my real life experience tells me that this will be the result. And usually that's the case. I just think that's such a neat thing. Does this sound appear even when you don't toggle hunter sense on? Oh, the sound things? No, you have to have hunter sense on. Is there a zone there? There is. What kind of zone? Badger. Can you insta-drop animals? If you shoot them in the spine, yes. We actually just did it, what, 5 minutes ago? With a mule deer buck on the run kind of through the brush. When did the stream start? We started an hour and a half ago. Basically, video came out at 11. There's a fox. I wanted to give people time to watch that, and then stream started at 11:30. What are you goobers doing? See if we can hit the other one. Yep, we sure can. Just crazy how if you shoot the deer's intestines, it reduces the yield price, as a lot of the meat is wastage. I think that's such a smart idea. And again, it just incentivizes ethical hunting and ethical shot placement. How long's the stream then? If we can manage, we're going to go till 3 o'clock. I don't know if I'm going to be able to survive that long. And I also don't want Kyla and her dad to just be sitting here for forever feeling like they're waiting on me to shut up or whatever. But I guess we'll see. What do we even shoot here? A 1-star male. 13 credits. I think the predators should probably yield a little bit better. But then again, if you can kill them that easily, maybe it's about right. Nice, Mel. I hear a thing. Mule deer again. Darn it. They keep on escaping me. Are you slowing down up there for good? Because they're zipping all around. I'm tempted to just kind of wander up that way and see if we can see them, because it looked like they've been running for a while and may settle in. Will there be non-typicals? I know, based on the, I think it's supposed to be like a deer that your grandpa shot in the trophy lodge. There is a, at least unique rack deer. I have no idea what that might mean for what we can actually find though. Do the licenses for other areas expire? I think they're a one-time buy. I actually kind of wish they expired. I think it would be wise to require you to have to spend credits every now and then. Eventually, players will get to a point where they have basically unlimited credits. Have you hunted in real life? I've been hunting in some form in real life for about 20 years. I think I was 5 years old when I shot my first groundhog. So, just a bit. Deer hunting 15 years? I just heard a deer snort at us. He did it again. I don't know how we're supposed to know that's a male. That's the one thing I don't like. I kind of wish the gender wasn't displayed on sounds, but you know, that is what it is. In your opinion, what's better, Call of the Wild or this game? It depends on what you're looking for in a hunting game. If you're looking for a true-to-life hunting experience, this game is definitely better. There's just no arguing. If you're looking for more fast-paced, more trophies, you know, more animals in general, then Call of the Wild is going to be better. I think a huge portion of, let's just say, people who want to play hunting games are going to find that this game is too slow and maybe, I don't even want to say too boring, because it's not. I don't find it boring, but I think some people will find it boring. If I shoot all deer, they no spawn, there should be respawns. Aren't they, Mel? Is there animal babies? There's young animals, but no, like, what you might call yearlings. Although a lot of people mean 1.5 years old when they say yearling. So I wonder if there's some does in there that we can call in. If anybody wasn't here earlier, that's going to sound like a really odd thing to say. But in order to be able to unlock the better calls, which are going to call in bucks, we need to sell 10 called animals. In order to sell called animals, we got to use the calls we have access to, which in this case are just for does. What brands does Way the Hunter have? I have seen Remington, Steyr, Primos, and Bushnell so far. By the way, I don't know why that alert didn't come up. Stefan, thank you for the 2 months. Welcome back, man. Appreciate you. I heard a thing. We gotta be ready in case they just come barreling in again. See what happens. You have to pay for ammo. No, I actually haven't 100% figured out how ammo refilling works. I think that one might come in. It just called to us. But basically, it seems like when you rest or when you go to the equipment locker or something, you'll get your ammo refilled. You don't have to pay for it, though. Hey, Stefan, thank you for the super chat as well. I certainly appreciate you, man. Thank you for the support. Oh, loophole as well, yes. What calibers are there? We went through them earlier. There's everything from a 22 LR to 223, 243, 7mm Mod 8, 300, 308, 338. Lots of options there. They are indeed coming this way. I do like that the distance is displayed, because I think it's tough, you know, to, in a game setting, know how far away a sound is. Whereas in real life, you can kind of pinpoint it better. So I like that they help you out with that, what would you call that, spatial awareness by displaying the distance. How similar is this to Classic? It's probably the most similar hunting game to Classic in terms of realism out there, and I would say in a lot of ways it surpasses Classic in the realism sense. What's up, Equal Gamer? Why are we glitching up and down here? Is there wheel support for driving? That's a good question. I do not know. How much does it cost? The game itself is $39.99. Maybe the bar on the bottom for the call is how long a duration it has? I don't think it is, because when you equip it, well, now it's actively just moving. I thought that it's, maybe you're right, but I thought it started moving even without actually using the call. I might be wrong. Do they have bows? Not at the moment, at least. There's a buck. A 1-star buck. Another 1-star buck. The does don't seem to like us today. Another 1-star buck. Our whitetail population is not looking top tier right now. How are you? I know. So I'd like to call them in, because that will help us with our calling abilities, but then again, when there's bucks around, I kind of want to shoot a buck. That doe seems to know we're here. Young deer I don't want to shoot. Were any of those adult 1-stars? Now, of course, they're hiding really well. What are you? Young. There's an adult. Wrong gun. Is there spikes? I think so. I don't know what's what. I think that top guy's the one we want. Almost has to be. Finding a spot to get the shot through has not been an easy deal here. Yeah, that one up there is definitely better. Let me see here for 109. I think we want a 0 for about 160. Is he really walking back down that way? That's the worst. And he definitely knows we're here, so I'm trying to get a shot before they just end up bolting. I don't think it's that buck, but I think we may take that buck. God, I'm almost going to go 300 here for the extra power. Just because we're kind of going to need to shoot through a shoulder. I just can't see well enough. Well, oh, we got him. For a second, I thought we were going to have to really go and try to figure it out, but he's not going far. What graphics setting is this? This is the high preset. Can you choose your character's handedness? Unfortunately, no. That'd be kind of neat. Saw a big buck behind him. There was a better one in there somewhere, but I think things were going to spook. They were kind of onto where we were. If we buy the game now, are we able to play early access? No. Early access was given to a number of creators and stuff, but it's still, release is still the 16th. Hey, Thomas, thank you for the super chat. TK. I don't know a TK. Are you running this at 1440p or 4K? I'm in 1080p. And also, when tracking, do you have to be in, like, the 100 cents mode to see tracks, or can you see them normally? You can see them normally. Like, right now, we're not in 100 cents mode. I'll try to even track it down without it. Looked like he had started going up this way. Let's get rid of the gun. Taking up so much space on our screen there. If I could find one... Oh, never mind. Don't need blood when he's just laying there. Alright, was this actually the adult? Oh, it looks like it because... So you'll notice, his left side here is just a fork with a brow tine. His right side's got a G2 and 3. Does he even have a brow tine on that side? He doesn't. That might have even been a mature. Like a cull buck. What artery did we hit? It's saying an artery from cavity damage was the main thing that killed him. Is it this one coming up off the heart there? I think it is. So you don't actually have to hit certain things to do damage to them. There's consideration of the bullet shockwave, and that's, I think, what some of this cavity damage is talking about. What GPU do you have? A 3060. That was an adult, not a mature, but definitely a really not good genetic deer, one that we want to take out. Wayne, thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate the support, man. Thank you, thank you. Are there ultra settings? Yes, there's one stage higher of settings than I have set for. My PC was kind of having a hard time with that, so I went for high. You know what? Let's go to the Transylvania map. Give that a look. Titans vs. Ravens game wasn't available in my area. I happened to put it on last night and literally saw the last play, and that was it. Do you know how the genes work? I definitely have a ton to learn there. I don't know yet. How to see the animal's hunting tier? As in, like, what weapon to use? I think, is that what you mean? Give me 1 second when we get in here. Still can't see a rack score? Oh, darn it, I didn't go to show it. There is one. It just, like I said, it doesn't mean much, so I don't tend to look at it. How do I get out of here? I always get confused with these doors. Not that one. Actually, should we get the red deer collar? We might as well. We already have it. I just need to swap. Now that actually calls in fallow deer too. So unequip. Equip. And find my way out of here. That's not it. That is out, but you can't get off the railing, so this way. Nice lodge. It's really, really nice. Okay, so we're going to just kind of wander. Let's go south first, because we'll find wild boar really easily, and then we may go north. With the trophies, can you still get a 5-star rating with a 1-star hunt score? I don't know what the hunt score means. Does walking through brush or trees make more sound? I don't know. There's no indication of how much sound you're making, so it may, but like it's hard to know. Animals hunting deer? Yes, sorry. So when you harvest an animal, it will show you in the encyclopedia anything that you've harvested or picked up a zone for. So you've got the pheasant, you've got the wild duck, Ross's goose, badger, red fox, gray wolf, sorry, all this stuff. And you see the hunting tier and is on both sides. It also shows the recommended hit energy. So like, let's say you were hunting for a red deer, and you see one out there, I don't know, 500 yards away, you want to take the shot. You can determine what hit energy your gun is going to have at that range. Use the hunter sense. It will then let you know. Our hit energy at that range would be 3,900 joules. So that would be enough to kill a red deer, and we could take a shot at that range. Are muzzleloaders in or planned? I haven't heard anything about muzzleloaders yet, so I don't know. Go towards the hills, actually. Are there character levels? Kind of. In the perks section here, as you progress, you'll get more and more perks. The hiker one's really interesting, I think. You've got, like a ghost, once you've traveled 15 kilometers in an upright stance, you make 15% less noise when moving upright. Then you've got the invisible man, that is 30 kilometers, same thing, 15% less visible, so I think all in all 30% less visible now. Then you've got one for crouched, got another one for crouched. Next is when you've traveled 15 kilometers while crouched, you're 50% faster but 10% louder. I kind of wish you could choose not to do that, but I think you just have it, whether you like it or not. Decoys for ducks? I don't think there are any. I didn't see any. No tree stands as well. What's up, Evan? Love the content? Thank you, man. Appreciate you stopping in for the stream today. I have a 3060 and not doing the best with ultra settings. I don't know if a 1080 would fare a whole lot better. Are you on the Transylvania map? Yes, we are now. Did about an hour and 45 minutes in North America. Probably killed 5 deer and 2 elk, I think. Maybe even more deer than that. 6 deer or something like that. That may or may not happen out here. I think, so these like rolling hills, you can spot wild boar really easily. You can basically run around and do that. When it comes to the deer species, I haven't had that experience. So we'll see how we can do once we maybe shoot a boar or two and move on to the difficult stuff. Ready to see the gray wolves' behavior? Yeah, I'm hoping to see more from them. I've only had very brief encounters with them so far. Can you run and use hunter sense? You cannot. Well, maybe once you get far enough in this. Where's that even at? Is it this? Yeah. So when you've interacted with 15 different tracks, you have Eagle Eye, so hunter sense works with 10% greater distance. You have Walk and Sense, so once you've interacted with 30, you can walk and use the hunter sense. When you're at the beginning, you have to be sitting still to use it, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, I can walk and use it, cannot run and use it. Have they mentioned anything about adding bows? I believe they've at least said they'd like to do that as a DLC in the future. Hyped about the game, already pre-ordered the Elite Edition? I don't blame you. It's looking pretty good to me. Render distance for animals is 800 yards. Now that is dependent on your settings, so mine might be more like, say, 650 or 700 because I'm not at the max settings. I don't know though. Is every player's need zones in a different place like Call of the Wild? I think so, but I don't know that for a fact. Do you think this is better than Call of the Wild? I think as a hunting simulation game, it is better than Call of the Wild. I don't know that as a game, period, that it's better than Call of the Wild. I think there's going to be a huge portion of Call of the Wild players that don't like the amount of time that it takes to sometimes find just one animal in this game, and that's fine, by the way. They're kind of catering to a different audience, I would say, which is probably smart. Do they have the 6.5 caliber? They do not. Think it's going to be pay to win? I don't know if the Call of the Wild is even pay to win. I mean, it's pay to purchase other maps. The base game weapons in Call of the Wild are so good that I don't know it's pay to win. How have I gotten stuck here? That was weird. Do you think a 3060 Ti can handle ultra graphics? Considering my 3060, not Ti, can get close, probably. Looks like a nice game. It is really fun. I tend to enjoy, I mean, you guys have known I've made classic content for like 7 years now. You guys know I like a challenging, fairly realistic hunting simulation type game, and this game hits on all those bars. How far away do animals render? 800 yards on max settings. At least I'm not sure how much your settings affects how far away they render. People will not like how it's very similar to real life, but that's fine. There's a ton of people out there looking for that immersion that is real. Yeah, I think probably it was smart on their part to not target the exact same player base that Call of the Wild's going for. Because again, it's tough, like, somebody that's played Call of the Wild for 5 years, pretty good chance they're not just going to be like, well, done with that game, here's a new one. So the fact that they are going for such different things, I think it's going to allow a lot of people to play both, and you know, it's going to cater to an audience that maybe isn't as big a fan of Call of the Wild. Okay, 500 meters, almost 600, we've got some boar out there. Let's see if we can kill them with the 300. So we're going to zero for about 546, that'll be about correct. And I want to know if the hit energy will be enough. So you see the wind marker is going to help us there. It should be enough, but it might be because the boar are so far away. It's not lighting up in that tan color that usually indicates that you do have enough hit energy to kill them. I would sure love for them to slow down. A walking shot at 550 yards is rough. Some of them are starting to feed again. I'm thinking that and that are the boars, or the males I should say. Let's try it. He definitely got hit. Is it that one? Gonna mark where he was. I still see two boars going, so I'm not sure if that was a great idea, but I'll go and see what the blood looks like. Are you still gonna play the other hunter? Definitely. Like I mentioned before, and I've got 5,600 hours in Call of the Wild. I've got 6,000 hours in Classic. They're not games that I would just abandon for any reason. The recoil on the gun system doesn't impress me much. The recoil could be a lot better. I talked about that at the beginning of the stream. You really don't get that feel of just fired a high-powered weapon when you shoot a gun. But I think if they could kind of, you know, tweak that a little bit, they'd be looking pretty good. What gun is that? This is the 300 Win Mag. I like the reflection on the scopes while moving. I didn't even notice that. Slowly motivating me to get a PC. It's been a part of my master plan this entire time, really. I saw that post, Aqua. It's a bummer. Is this game very realistic? It's the most realistic hunting game I've ever played. Okay. So, I don't know if you got... Sometimes on streams, frame drops aren't as obvious, but we just dropped about 15 frames there as the game was loading in the next chunk of the map. You know, who knows how far out. That's one thing I really hope they can fix. I don't like the random lag that occurs there. Does lying down steady your aim? That's a good question. I don't know. We'll see if we can try that next time we get a chance. Got some poops. Looks fresh. Still think it was more over here where we took that shot. What is your access rating of this game out of 10? I'd probably give it right about a 9. I think if the scoring system was more realistic, it would be probably even higher. It's the one thing I don't like. The scores are kind of almost nonsensical to me. Yeah, that is small amount of blood and red, so probably not a lethal hit. It's worthwhile taking a shot at that range and seeing what would happen. I still think it could be done. Probably my aiming was the issue there. Hunting for pixels. Where are you from? I'm from Pennsylvania. By the way, I think we're going to leave that pig go. I hate to just shoot stuff and leave it, but that was, if anything, kind of a test case. Hopefully they add new clothing options. I think different degrees of character customization are a really good idea. Got some more boar. Should we try 400? I still want to get one at 500. I'll give it one more try, and if this doesn't work, we'll stop doing that. Brain shot? Yeah, we'll see if we can brain shot a boar before we go look for red deer and stuff. Did you record you shooting that monster PA whitetail? I did. I'll be honest, outside of the fact that it was starting to get low light by the time I took the shot, is probably the best buck footage I've ever gotten, which worked out rather well. I like your Meat Hunters episodes. Why, thank you. In about an hour and a half, we have a new one coming out. Are they going to add crossbows? Maybe. Could be a neat thing. Alright, I think we're over 500 now. Go with the 300 again. We're zeroed for 540. You guys wanted to see if prone, but I can't go prone, really. Guess we gotta take the shot from a crouch. Can we get the wind help? A little bit to the right. That got him. That's long blood. I guess it can be done. Just gotta aim at the right spot. I'd love to, if I can get my binoculars out, try to see where he goes down. He's probably dead already. I don't know where any of them went. Gonna be a tracking job then. Oh my god, hello. What are you guys doing? Can I brain shot one of these? Maybe doable. So basically we just shot over the back of a different herd of boar, and we were so far away that it didn't bug them. Gustav, thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Do you reckon I'll have to play on low settings on a 1650 Ti? I'm not super familiar with them. Ooh, some mouflon. I want to shoot all the things. This is a problem. Anyway, I would say medium graphics could be achievable. Do you like the way the scope looks? I wouldn't mind it being... the recoil with the scope is really the problem I have. But I wouldn't mind if there was... How do I describe it? Like, when you have this up, can you see how, like, the... Not the black ring, but the actual scope just kind of jitters? I kind of want some of that to be polished, but for the most part, it's alright. The recoil is weird. The recoil definitely needs fixed. I'm not a fan of how that works. You're like a dog getting pet, then, ooh, squirrel! It happens in these games. What about a 3050 Ti? I'd assume high or maybe ultra. Is a 3050 Ti better than a 3060? I don't know graphic stuff. Beagle, tell me. Oh, nice, Cameron. I don't want to shoot a young one. I'd like to shoot that guy there. I will attempt the brain shoot, even though it's going to have to be on the move. Get the zeroing more correct. I'm going to say yeah. Looks like you can brain shot stuff. Now the question was, does it save on the meat yield? And that will remain to be seen. By the way, when they run off, they like squeal and stuff. Kind of cool. are able to try out the bows. There are no bows in the game at launch. They've talked about maybe doing an archery DLC, but to begin with, there aren't any. Did the devs say real hunters will have an advantage? I don't know if they have, but I can tell you, real hunters will have an advantage. Everything, and I'm going to try to make a tutorial probably Tuesday morning for the day the game comes out. And one of the things I'm going to say is, if you wouldn't take the shot in real life, don't take it in this game. Now, there's some caveats to that. Like, I'm probably not taking a 500-yard shot in real life like I just did a moment ago. But angle-wise, I still wanted to make sure it was perfectly broadside. And brain shot's also not something I would do, but I wanted to test it. Or what? Oh, I shot this one. What? This is the one that we shot at 500 yards the first time. In the lung. And it just didn't kill it. The energy was not sufficient, I guess? Or maybe the lung can collapse? What are the odds that we picked the same one again? Can I turn the game louder? Yeah, I can. So the meat wastage thing really isn't going to apply here. 100 pounds of wasted meat, though, because of the double 300 shot. Hogs are tough animals, that's for certain. My goodness. That was nuts. Austin, thank you for the super chat, by the way. Just got in the call a while about 2 months ago and can't stop playing. Just pre-ordered and bought a new console today. Nice, dude. Got all kinds of new stuff to do then. Okay, what am I doing? Game sound. I have that down because the gunshots are fairly loud. Go about there. That was ethical. Didn't leave a wounded animal out there by accident. Definitely. How did he tell it was lung blood? The one that I shot far away, I could just see the pink from 500 yards. Lung blood, and in real life as well, it's kind of a pinkish color because of the, I think is it the oxygen content? Why is lung blood pink? It just is. I don't know. Somebody can answer that. Are there ammo options? I don't think you can choose your ammo. I think whatever gun you buy just comes with standard ammo for that gun. Pink because of oxygen? Okay, I wasn't sure if that was correct. So, see that? Pink blood, you can tell from here, and I can see it at 500 yards. It was going to be pink. Now, at that range, I'm betting this pig is going to run for quite some distance. Interesting thing, though. This shot, I guess because it did enough damage to the lung, did produce the pink blood. We hit that other pig in the lung, too, and it did not produce the pink blood. Really intriguing stuff. I like this. Fair amount of blood, too, for 500 yards away. I'm trying to track him down without using the 100 cents because I think that's cooler. You can tell he's really starting to bleed out through this a lot back to back to back here. Kind of cutting through here. See it going right along the river or creek. Love to see this in 4K. I wish I could run it in 4K. I know I wouldn't be able to. Blood is maroon until it hits oxygen? Okay. Well, bears attack if you get close. I know some animals can attack. I don't know if bears are among them. Okay. I guess we're spooking some. On the off chance they go this way. Oh, they are going this way. I don't even know if I hit that. Oh, okay. I was expecting him to continue. Awkward. Well, that didn't quite go to plan. Is there still another? Mostly females. I don't even know what we shot at. So this time at 505 yards, lungs and I don't know what this like droplet means. I'm not sure I understand that. Either way, lungs with a bunch of cavity damage due to the shockwave was what killed him. And 17 pounds of meat wastage for a 300 is not bad. So did we hit anything here? Still just running around. I thought I might have seen blood hit the side here, but kind of don't think we did. Which is fine with me. What's up, mistress? may or may not have just woken up, well, good morning. There's coffee downstairs. What's that?
I said it's all gone.
Oh,
My dad drank
that's
it
right.
all. He
There's
made
no longer
12
coffee
cups.
downstairs. I had 3 or 4.
The man drank so many cups.
So I guess he had about 8.
And he's drinking
No, I
Monster.
probably had 3 because I used your little camo cup that's not that big. Yep. Is there a 270 in the game? No, there's no 270. I'll bring the coffee if you show me the hunting pressure. I can't find it though. Ozzy for the win. Thank you for the super chat. Hope you're having a good day. Having a fantastic day, man. Having a longer than normal stream, which is cool. Getting to check out this new game, and it's been an absolute blast. We've had a very successful hunt too. We've had lots of kills. Do I hear things? Because I'm hearing my own footsteps. Where are we? There are red deer up in this area, so I think we'll keep on wandering this direction. Are you originally from PA or did you move there? Originally from and still live in PA. Do you think a PS5 can run max graphics? Most consoles don't give you graphics settings options because the game is designed for that console, so I'm going to assume the standard is max graphics and that PS5 could run it. Red Deer, did we switch maps? Yeah, we're on Transylvania now. Those boar that we were shooting are on the Europe map. It is Axeman. Really, really nice game. The hit ballistics, I don't know at what point. I'm sure there comes a point where you've shot maybe... I've shot almost 100 animals, so maybe it's 200, maybe it's 500, maybe it's 1,000. There's probably a point where it's like, okay, the hit thing is just standard part of the game. It's really cool, but it maybe no longer is the fascination. I don't know when that happens, though. I can tell you right now, I haven't gotten over just how realistic the ballistics and such are. Are there colors in this game? There are. We actually tried them earlier. We were able to call in a mule deer doe. What do we have here? Some fallow? I think. What even are they? Let's use the scope to find out. I believe that's what those are. Haven't shot a fallow deer yet, so this will be fun. Are there online competitions? I actually don't know. There is multiplayer, so there may be some competitive stuff. I don't think Kyla would be able to play. I don't know how that works. It's not something I'm willing to risk, though. Is there scent block? There's no scent elimination. I don't think there's any, like, scent attractants either. This is kind of like Cabela's Big Game Hunter. I've played a lot of the Cabela's games. It's got a lot of that feel, but the open world factor is really what sets it apart. Is there not bullet drop? There is. You can zero your scope for basically any distance, though. Like, there's a bunch of different ranges, so you can offset for that very easily. A huge thing, by the way, if you're a PC player, and it probably isn't as big an issue on console, so the zeroing button, normally, to change the range that you're zeroed for, are the up and down arrow keys, which kind of requires you to take your hand off the WASD. What I've done is rebound the zero keys to my mouse, and that has made a heck of a difference for me in being able to still maneuver around quite easily. What sets us apart from, say, Call of the Wild? Mostly the realism in the amount of animals you see, the realism in required, like, accurate shots and such. And I'd also say the realism in just, like, the way, like, the fact that animals age and stuff. I think that's going to be a huge factor in this game that goes in its favor. Honk the collar? Oh, that's right, I can. I don't know what the range is for them, but I heard a thing. Oh, a red deer chirping at us. Now that was a hind. This will be interesting. We played this more than Call of the Wild. I'm gonna assume we're gonna play them at about the same level of frequency, at least in the near future. We'll see how things go. Adaptive triggers. I haven't heard anything about it. Opinion on the population density in this game. Is it the right balance? If it's not the right balance, it's really close. I'd say it's about right. Quite frankly, if you move slowly in this game, you find enough animals. I just have a tendency to be impatient when I'm recording and run too much. Have you played this story? I have not. I kind of wanted to save that. I wasn't going to do any videos on it because I figure that's best for, you know, avoiding spoilers if anybody wants to avoid such things. And I don't know, I'm more interested in the open world stuff. Do you think this will look as good on console as on PC? I would think so. The fallow moving through the woods like they're real, I got it pre-ordered, can't wait. It's pretty cool, man. Pretty cool the way the animals interact with their environment. They must have kind of scooted further up. I kind of want to hit that collar and see what happens. Maybe that is the duration. You want to send your does over this way, feller? Are there big animals? There are, yes. Do you lose hunt value for taking long-range shots? I don't know. There's a doe kind of coming in. Now the problem is, as much as I want to shoot a fallow buck, I kind of also need to shoot a called animal for our calling skills purposes. You know what else I want to see? Did that last one even work? Character... Yeah, we have one now from shooting that doe. She certainly seems to be coming our way, though. Bucks are just doing their thing. I don't think they're very big, so it's probably okay if we don't take such shots. That was pretty cool, though. One of the bucks just... I don't know if it's calling back or just happened to call. The 1080 Ti, wasn't that the thing that was dying on me, Psycho? In my old PC, it was kind of starting to quit. Ready to see the wolves? There are wolves on both maps, so we could encounter them. Oh god. There's some weirdness that happens with some of the slopes and having your binoculars up, so sometimes I'll try to avoid that. If you want it, there's a couple of things I need to get off that PC. I need to get some of the old trail camera stuff, and I had something else on there I needed. I can't remember what. But I mean, yeah, we can do that. Okay, now she's starting to trot, so I think she's maybe officially... Now she's going back, though. Wait, come here. I need you for my callings. I don't know what that means when she goes back the other way. Fair enough, Psycho. Can you turn the head bobbing down? I don't think so. It is a little excessive, I'll agree with that. Well, now they're just back to doing their thing. At this point, maybe we try to take a buck? Were they all young, though, or were there any adults? I think it's best to not just smoke young one-star deer. There is an adult one-star, though, so that's the one we want to take. And as much as I thought we were going to get a doe, looks like a buck it shall be. I think it's this front guy here. Not that one. That one's stepping out next. Look good. Lots of blood. Oh, that one back there was a little bit bigger. Might have shot the wrong one. I don't know. For a second, I thought this was the Hunter Call of the Wild. It is a more realistic game than Call of the Wild, I would say. He kicks a good shot. I thought he kicked. I believe I saw some blood splatter as well. How good is hunting the birds? The bird hunting in this game isn't ideal. It's okay, but, you know, not jaw-dropping or anything. I believe a dev has said head bob and other options are coming out, but not yet. Okay, that's good. Good to hear. This is where I have the most issue with it. When you run uphill, it gets a little funky with the head bobs. Okay, got some very pink looking blood. And we'll try our best to track without the hunter sense, especially because a bunch of people did not like the blur earlier. What the heck was that sound? Sounded like a little, like the start of a red deer roar or something. I'm loving the shot sound. The sounds are good. The recoil definitely needs some work, but you know, hopefully that's something they can do. If you crouch along, the blood trailing really is very manageable. I find myself often trying to run and just get to the next thing immediately. But when it comes to the realistic stuff, I'm not saying you crouch all the time with blood trails, but a lot of times, particularly at night, if I'm trailing a deer, I do end up kind of crouching down and looking around to try to figure out where the next spot of blood is. Here though, at least with a good shot, we're more or less able to just continually go. I'm gonna mark that because we're kind of getting a transition of grass and it might be tougher to... Oh, actually he's laying right there. Cool. PC specs, I think we have a command for that, right? What's up, Hick? I don't know, it doesn't look like a young deer. Maybe we shot the right one. Got him through both lungs there at 211 yards. Actually could have kept the zeroing where it was. Not too bad. So this guy was an adult. We did get the right one. Good looking fallow too for what would be a lacking great genetics type of deer. Even though it says 81.94%. This is where I'm stuck. Like I can't figure out what that means. But somebody was asking about the score. Like it's 223. I don't know how like all this stuff works though. Hard to read into that very much. Is there a 6.5? Unfortunately, there is not. Swing up this way and see what we can run into, even though the wind is just awful, so maybe we'll try to at least go a little more west. Had to kill the biggest ant I've ever seen in my life. Was it bigger than that one that was in shadows?
Yes.
Really?
It was.
Where?
It was in the bathroom.
Nice.
Well, it was vulnerable, just coming at me like that.
Oh my goodness.
It was awful.
When to content? That is a good question. When's Kyler going to start making content? Can you hunt squirrels? There are no squirrels in the game, at least at the moment. How much will the game cost? $39.99. Are you a fan of the scope blacking out after you take a shot? What they're trying to stimulate is the recoil hitting you, the recoil of the gun hitting you, and your eye may be moving away from the scope a bit. And when that happens, you do end up with not being able to see through the scope. You do get that black. I don't know if I like the way they've done it. I don't know. It just doesn't feel like the scope doesn't move enough. Hello, the scope doesn't move enough for it to make sense that it would, you know, have that effect where you can't see through it. There needs to be a more pronounced recoil, I think. The DNA percent goes down the more big animals you harvest. So what does that mean? Help me understand, because I'm very intrigued. Both in your video and the stream, the higher genetic potential animals were only adults and not mature. I would guess that mature animals is the top pyramid for age class. I do think that is correct. Glorious outside. We are very fortunate, especially given the amount of time I've been sitting inside in this very hot room, but it's been fairly cool lately. How are the graphics? Quite good. I like them. I would say Call of the Wild's graphics are a little more crisp, but I mean, you look at this. Very, very good. How's this game compared to the Hunter Call of the Wild? In terms of realism, this game definitely blows Call of the Wild out of the water. I just mentioned I think Call of the Wild's graphics are a little smoother, and you're going to encounter animals in Call of the Wild a lot more frequently. That said, it just depends on what you're looking for in a hunting game. If you want the simulation, you know, more true-to-life experience, this is definitely where you want to go. If you want to just, you know, shoot a bunch of animals and have a good time, Call of the Wild's probably going to be better for that. Your mature whitetail buck was 94%. This is why I want to you know, understand it better, because I still don't know what the heck it means. Do deers run that fast in real life? Probably faster. You deserve way more subs. Your vids are such high quality. Well, thank you, man. I really appreciate that. I've been trying, especially since this spring, in editing the real life hunting videos, to kind of bring a bit of a blend of that to my Call of the Wild and Way the Hunter and classic content. So I appreciate that that you're seeing some of that. So we have a calm fallow deer at 300 yards. So the sound that we heard was like a leaf. Well, I should say like dry leaves, maybe stepping in that or breaking a branch or something. And now we kind of know it's over there, so we'll slow ourselves down. With the wind being bad, I'm not sure we're going to get it. How big are the maps? 55 square miles. Pacific Northwest map equals Layton, Transylvania equals Hirsch. It's very close. I do, and you know, like, oh, hello there. We actually did find it. What are the odds? There are limited like options if you're going to do 2 maps and want to have extreme variety. I do wish they could have done something a little different to kind of like, you know, set themselves apart from Call of the Wild in that way, because their, you know, initial 2 maps are very, very similar. But like I said, if you want variety and you want a lot of people to feel like they get to hunt their home map, yeah, these are probably 2 of the best options you could come up with. Are there 1,200 people in here? I did not know that. I can't see the viewer count when I stream through OBS. So thank you guys for coming in. I appreciate it. Daniel, thank you for the super chat. Has Call of the Wild met a true contender? I think in terms of just like all around top hunting game, I'd say yes. I think it's probably not going to cut into Call of the Wild's player base that much, because it requires so much patience, and I think a lot of Call of the Wild players like it because it tends to be a fast-paced hunting game. These guys do not like my collar. I'd like you to come this way, please. It looked like I punched? With the arm being up in the air? There's something that happens when you go prone that it messes up the position of the arm. It fixes itself if you sit still for a minute. Any bows in the game? There are no bows, at least on launch. I have to woo them. Woo. Did I do it? They should make protein feeders to improve DNA. Could be an interesting way to at least get you to spend your credits. I said before, you'll reach a point where credits are going to mean nothing. Once you've purchased every item in the game and all the passes and stuff, then it's like, alright, what do I do with this? And it's the same in Call of the Wild. You know, I've got 20 million cash just sitting there. It's the same in a lot of games. So if they can find ways to have you consistently spend your credits, whether it is on feed for something like that, whether it's on, you know, if those hunting passes expire every week or whatever, I do hope they require you to spend credits often. I don't like when you just get stuck with a pile of monies in a game. Okay, freaking out. What do you think about the 338 Lapua? I haven't gotten to fire it yet in this game, so hopefully we get to try it sooner rather than later. Looking to be just the 2, and they don't like me. Deer season opening next month? Nice. See what 2 calls does. She says, nope, I'm more interested in my food right now. Is it expensive to put taxidermies on the stands? It is reasonably expensive for the full body platforms. Reasonably inexpensive for the like wall plaques. I'm gonna give this one more try, and if she no-use me one more time, I will smoke. Oh, we might be onto something. So I want to make sure we get her before like the call expires or whatever, and the angle is just not it. So either hopefully she starts trotting, or maybe we call again before the duration thing goes away, if that's what this even is. Daniel, thank you again, man. If the game is a great success, will you stream it regularly? Will it be Twitch or YouTube? I'm waiting for your review to purchase. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate you holding my opinion of the game that highly. I think I intend to stream it and do videos and content on it a good bit. As for Twitch or YouTube, probably a little bit of both. I'd like to find a way to do both and see how we can do. We'll just see where we go. That seemed to have alerted her. Probably called one too many times. Do we blast her in the head?
Do it.
Huh? Do it? Okay. Oh, as she starts moving. Well, now I have a broadside shot, so never mind. Slow down. Meh. I need a map button. Where are you going? Wait. Wait. Hold on. This isn't fair. I can't move that fast. I don't know if she's going to run up behind us here now. Where have you gone? Clearly I should have shot it in the head because this did not happen. Oh god. Did not happen how I thought. Got places to be, that's for sure. Where did she go? Okay. That was kind of annoying. Is the other one still out here? Yeah, she's down over the hill, though. I guess I'm going to scoot out to the edge here and see if we can see her. A mad button? Dude, I'm telling you, it would be a hit. Oh, there she is. Spooked now, so it's not even going to help us. Or the shot. There was no way I was going to hit that, but I don't know where the heck she was going. How much time left? Right around an hour. Just watched the first video. Did you figure out what the gene percentage means? Not yet. I still am not there. Would be cool if you could set the game to a certain season to go shed hunting. Yeah, I think seasons in games generally are a good idea. Oh, a bunch of them. Or one running from left to right. Nope, there's a male there too. I still don't like that you can tell whether it's a male or a female from sticks cracking, but I also understand why it would be annoying to make it so that that information ends up being hidden for certain calls and not others. Maybe something they change down the road. Petition for a mad button. So I always thought that a cool way to do it, and this goes back 10 years into the Hunter Classic beginnings. I always thought you should have a button that first of all could just do it, but you should also have a button that makes the game listen to your microphone, and if you just say you hit T to talk, you hold T, your microphone listens, and you can say whatever you want, and the deer are going to hear that. That's going to activate as a noise, and they could stop and look at you for a minute, and then maybe spook if you talk too much. Because then it could be really funny to yell hilarious things at deer and get them to stop. Or you could also be realistic and, you know, actually meh. Shoot my new bow and I love your videos so much. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Are you close to Hershey Park? Not too close. Imagine if they're going to add a dog to track down the animal you shot. I think that would be neat, although I do like the tracking system a lot and having to do it on your own. Imagine hunting with a friend and they speak in-game. But I think as long as you had like a separate communication thing and you're not pressing the button that would let the game listen to your mic, it would be fine. People who meh are mid, you're mid. Albino or different furs? The devs did say there would be different furs. Where are we, by the way? Getting close to that other outpost. From Pittsburgh, PA. What's going on, man? So this fellow, we're kind of running down towards this opening. I was curious if we could end up spotting him again. Not seeing such things. They run pretty far, and the thing is we don't know like what direction they went in from there. They could have looped back around this way. They may have kind of cut up through this pass. So that might be the way that we go. I wonder if rares are going to be even more rare to see in this game than classic. They may well be. I can tell you I haven't found one yet. When's the game come out? August 16th. Hope they add proximity voice chat. Could be kind of neat for multiplayer. How many guns can you carry? 2. 2's your limit. You can carry any 2, doesn't matter, but no more than 2. Sounds good, Brandon. How you liking this game so far? Do you think it's going to be worth it? I definitely think it's going to be worth the price. I've had a lot of fun with it. I've been playing a ton here in Early Access to get a bunch of content ready for you guys to check it out and see what you think for yourselves. And there's not much to complain about. The recoil when you shoot is one of the things I don't like. And a few like graphical things here and there, a few little things to polish up. For the most part, is really darn good. What's up, tacos? This is not for PS4. Only the newest gen consoles, though. PS5, Xbox Series X and S. Nobody gonna talk about adding handguns. It'd be an interesting idea. I think it could be good for maybe like a aggressive animal defense or whatever, but the way the ballistics are and stuff, I think in most cases handguns aren't gonna be that useful. The scenery is amazing. It's really quite good, isn't it? What would you recommend, Elite Edition or Standard? I actually don't even know what the difference is. I haven't looked. Is there more different areas on the one map? I don't know what you mean by that. Not gonna buy a PS5 for $1 million? Goodness. That's how I feel, Lucas. Could be better, but they're really, really good, so I'm not gonna complain. The fall trees in particular are my favorite. Some of the like more green leaf trees and stuff aren't as good. Frag grenades. That'd be interesting. Crossplay, I don't know. I don't think it is. I haven't heard anything about it, but I also haven't heard that it's not. I'm the apex predator. Just me standing there like shirt on backwards, hat on tilted. Apex predator out here. A road here. Let's see if we can go get eyes on that. Will it be on Nintendo Switch? I don't think so. I think it would be a little too tough graphically to run. Do you prefer Call of the Wild graphics? Yeah, generally I think Call of the Wild's graphics are a little bit better. The lighting in Call of the Wild's a lot more realistic, which definitely helps. Mountain hunting is hard? It definitely is. How well does the game run? Pretty good. I have had the occasional issue where basically when covering ground quickly and the game has to load like the next chunk of map, you'll get frame rate drops. On occasion, like in low light, I notice I'll have some worse frames, but for the most part, we're running a steady 60. Where are you, little roe deer? There's one there. Oh, and one that spooked right in front of us. There are others. Couple more spooked. It's a young buck. Kind of a bummer. Render distance is 800 yards. The animal render, at least. I think technically there's a difference, but for all intents and purposes, most people want to know about the animal render. What do we got going up there? Is that the same road here? It is. An adult buck, actually. Y'all want to let me shoot out there? Ooh. Or do we shoot a fallow that's down there calling? There's being a vocal lad down there. I don't know if you guys can hear that over the music. Do you hunt in real life? I do. Is there camo for terrain, for certain terrain for spot and stock? At the moment, no. I really hope that's something they add, though. Are you going to play the Angler Call of the Wild when it comes out? Yes. Can't hear over the music? Ah, it's a bummer. It's alright. I promise we'll have fallow deer calling it sometime in the future in a video, and I'll turn down the music. Is there dynamic weather? I'm actually unsure about that. I know Mel just mentioned in chat that she had it raining. I have not seen rain that I can recall in over 20 hours of gameplay. Which, to be fair, isn't a ton. No dying on this game? You can die. You can take fall damage. It's either like take enough damage that you die though, or only get blood on your screen, sort of, and then it just goes away. The wind is not in our favor here, so I really think we need to crawl till we can see in that field. It's still raining and overcast. That's interesting. Red deer down there too. This is gonna get real intriguing real fast. Gonna be a matter of getting ourselves to where we can see, but I'm afraid even at crouching with the wind like this, they're likely to spook. I think the graphics look a lot better on this. It's a better engine. I think like there's certain aspects of the graphics that do. Biggest buck you've killed in real life? Good time to answer that question since we're just crawling along for forever. The buck that I got this past year was a 180 and 6/8 gross 14 point. It was a net non-typical of 171 and 3/8, but the green gross score, which is, you know, the total amount of antler he was carrying the day that I shot him, that is the 180. Just gonna do a little bit of crouching. Takes forever to crawl anywhere in this game. Thoughts after 20 hours? I really like it. I can promise I will have, by the end of the year, I'm just gonna say several hundred hours, 300 to 400 hours. The only thing that I'm not sure about is like when it comes to hunting season, will I be able to put the time in, you know, after a hunt or whatever. What I missed, mostly trying to get close to roe deer and fallow deer and stuff. I like that it's Unreal Engine because that means fixing any bugs will be easier. Thus, quality of life will be improved exponentially. That's always a plus. Nice, Mel. Got a roe deer up there, but now we're looking for the fallow. How was the West Virginia hunt? It was a lot of fun. We're planning on going back again this year, probably less than 2 months from now. Had an absolute blast, and Will sent a trail camera video of a deer that's just nuts. See, that red deer's alert at 200 meters, and we're crawling for forever. I don't know how we're gonna get anything accomplished here. Where is she? And the wind is actually not bad for the red deer. Nice, bottom boy. I have to default to your knowledge on that one, Psycho. I know nothing about such engines. How does Way the Hunter show wind direction? See in the bottom right there, the little arrow in the feet per second under the number? That's your wind direction. Which difficulty? Adventurer, I think. Whatever you're placed on at the beginning. I have found that sufficiently difficult enough for my small brain. Yeah, I think that's really cool, Luke, that it works that way. Can we at least spot something? Okay, we still have fallow deer right down there. Is it like the Hunter Classic, where if one animal spooks, the rest in the area spook? It definitely, for like a herd, is like that. If you spook one animal out of a herd, the whole thing goes. I'm not sure that if, like, say a roe deer runs past a red deer, I don't know if the red deer spook. I haven't had the opportunity to see what happens there yet. I just saw a deer finally. Got an adult fallow. Ooh, ooh, ooh. There's a 4-star mature. That's a nice one. See if we can get... Is that the same one? Or what? Okay. What is that one, first of all? Is that the one that we just spotted? That's a 2-star. I don't think we should be hesitating here. I think he sees us, and I think that one's got to die. Big boy. Let's change our zeroing first. And then we're going to crouch up. And I think slot that into the lungs. He kind of had a knees buckle sort of animation. Should have gotten him. I mean, the range was right. Hard to tell. Hard to see what happened. There's a little fall damage for you, by the way. Let's hope we got it. Oh my god, hello. Red deer coming up out of there? I kind of forgot they were in there once that fallow deer showed up. Let's see. Is that blood? Because if it is, that doesn't look pink. It looked good to me. Okay, bye. Where did we hit him? Oh no, it is pink. Good. Ooh, I was stressed. I was worried that somehow we messed up. Probably a Trophy Lodge worthy fellow. I thought he ran up. He had to have gone up, which that is one thing, and that'd be really tough to code, but I would love if hit animals didn't run up the hill. Normally I don't, you know, focus on little details like that in hunting game, but they've gotten so many things right from a realism perspective that I feel like, you know, nitpicking something like that's probably okay in this case. Is this the blood here? Yeah. So he ran... Did he go down? All kinds of tracks here, which is not going to make this any easier. I don't know if that would be tough to code. I assume like when animals have certain paths, it can be annoying. Maybe not so tough as frustrating. I just saw like something light up as a track way up there. Is that blood? I think it is. I can kind of see some reddish. That might even be what I saw from really far away. There, Psycho. You go work for them and make the best hunting game. You know how it's working. There's some blood. Okay. Shouldn't be terribly far then. Got some there. There he is. Cool. That's a big one. Look at the size of it, and that's a 4-star. What's a 5-star gonna look like? That is really cool. And I've got to mention as well, and we'll make sure we take a picture of this. See the little hook at the front here? I remember Call of the Wild kind of did the same thing. I wonder if that's like based on a record fallow or something. That's a pretty good one, Mel. I'm pretty happy with this one. Let's see. Okay. That's actually not half bad, just as is. One of the antlers is like a little bit buried, which is sort of frustrating, but that just is what it is. I want to look up a little higher, like a little more that way, and yeah, I think this can work. So the other thing we want to do is change the time of day. Something where the light's going to be hitting probably 1 or 2 p.m. I think 2 p.m. is about perfect. And just for the heck of it, should we tilt? Wrong way. Sometimes you can kind of level out a hillside by tilting like that. I don't know if I'll mess with any of these things. I think we'll just kind of go with the natural look for the most part. That is a pretty cool deer. That one I think is going to end up going to our lodge. Player model looks pretty basic. I honestly thought it looked pretty good. So that was basically all lung and whatever artery we struck here. Is it the one coming up off the heart, probably? Looks like it. Yeah, it did. Well, that was an accident, but no complaints there. Would have made 555 credits from that, but 92%. He was a mature, so I don't think he could have gotten any bigger. I don't know how that works, but my guess is once they hit mature, that's their kind of peak. And maybe they could even go downhill a bit. But we'll taxidermy that. And I don't know, do we go back to the lodge now? It's only 3:20 p.m., so it's not like we're at the end of the day or anything. Is this a PC only game? It'll be available on PS5 and Xbox Series X and S as well. Lodge for sure. We can do that. We can even go back to this campsite, actually. For this achievement, slap the on amount, can do. So, I don't know what kind of options there are. We've got like all these full body things. I'm pretty sure I saw Mel had a video going through like all this stuff. So you guys want to see like all the different options, like literally all over the place. You can check out her channel for that. That's neat. Proud over a dead European rabbit. I haven't even seen a European rabbit yet. So the question kind of becomes, do we want a full body or a wall plaque? We can go here. You could do 3 fallow altogether, or fallow fleeing. I'm always unsure about like when we have a 4-star. Do we want to wait and have a bunch of 5 stars together? I'm not sure. Now we could do the fallow deer just like in a pedestal style mount. I don't know. I say we do the multi-mount. Why not? It'll be a little expensive, but that's okay. So select, and we'll, for our 1,250 credits, mount that guy. I mean, look at the model though. What do I say? That's the best looking fallow deer in any game there is. I don't think that's a controversial statement even slightly. Look at that deer. That's just absolutely incredible. One other thing that I have messed with in the lodge is that photo mode again. You can do some kind of neat little stuff where you stand by your mount. Which, I don't know. Probably when I get my buck back, I'll do something like this. Why can't I get my camera to go down further? Oh, the thing's in the way. Okay. Not gonna get too crazy here because we're just seeing what this can look like, but if we change the lighting perhaps. The lighting up here just isn't good, it would seem. What about... There's a brightness thing, isn't there? All things considered, the camera tilt's gonna annoy me if we don't fix that. Where is that? All things considered, not too bad, especially since we're somewhat rushing. Big Hot, it is pretty darn cool, isn't it? The trophy lodges in this game are gonna suck me in. They really, really are. So what do we have? About 40 minutes to go. If I can find my way out of here again. We're gonna go straight to the campsite here. See what we can find. Did they take away the big animals on small plaques on Call of the Wild? They did, yes. That was always a bug, though a bug a lot of people liked, so I don't know. Maybe they could have left it, but then again, fixing bugs is usually a good idea. Could you have placed that fallow in a lodge on the NA map? You could not. The lodges are map specific. Now, I'm not sure with Grey Wolves, because Grey Wolves are on both maps, and I think Red Fox are too. I don't know if you can do that there. Smack one in the... How do you say that? I know what it is. Brachial plexus. You're talking about the shoulder thing there, where all the nerves meet and it just insta-kills them? I don't know if I can even... I'd have to look at it really close to try to aim in the right spot. There are no brown bear, right, on this map? There were going to be, and then I think it's going to be delayed. Heard you can customize the vehicles? I'm not aware that you can. I know you can change between 3 different colors, but I think that's it. Any new trophies? We just killed a really nice 4-star mature fallow buck. Just got back from throwing him in the lodge. If you want to like rewind the stream, I don't know, 2 minutes, it'll be there. Worst that happens is you hit lungs. The lungs are a little smaller than in this game than a lot. I think if I'm even a touch too far forward, it's going to end up not being a lung shot. we could just in-game stands, hopefully later down the road, get self-climb and blinds. I'd pay for it as well. I'd be really intrigued to see, you know, how tree stand hunting could work in this game. I think if you could find a good spot, it could be feasible. It says pre-order for me, that should be correct. Game comes out in 4 days. Any aggressive animals? I've heard there are, but I don't even know what animals it could be. Perhaps wolves and maybe bears? Boars, in theory, could maybe be an aggressive thing. Are there turkeys on the game? There are not. I'm not up to date on this game. Will there be multiplayer so me and my fiance can play together? Yes. There is a multiplayer mode. I don't know how it works yet. I haven't tried it, but hopefully it's going to work well. I wonder if adult or young animals can make 5-star. My guess would be no, but maybe. I think the thing is, like, because trophy rating is determined based on age and fitness, you probably want the maximum possible age being mature. And then, I don't know, maybe if you had like a 2 or 3-star young animal, and maybe it's even, maybe all young animals are 1-star. This is, you know, information I don't know yet. But if you see a young animal with potential, I've actually got a red deer. He's only a 1-star, but he's got a much better rack than other 1-stars that I've seen, so I'm leaving him go. Just a young one, and I'm just gonna see what happens there. What scope am I using? It's the second most expensive one. It is, if I can find it, somewhere. Overguard, long range 3 to 15. So the best one is this 3 to 18, but second best one's the one I went with. It's a little cheaper. Game looks cool, but I'm not willing to pay 40 quid for playing it on Xbox. Fair enough. Are there trail cams on this game? There are not. Do I like the rifle sounds? I think they sound good. I could use a little more... I don't even know how to describe it. Like, it could maybe be a little more bassy or something, but they're pretty good. Got some poops up here. Do you have the bug from last season on video? Yes, that episode will drop in a little over a month. Red deer. Alright, we'll just kind of generally wander this direction. Did I get the red deer color? I don't even remember. Is there a lot of echo from the gunshot? Nah, there's very little echo, which maybe one day we'll see some spatial sound stuff like that happen. Sound needs more boom. That's a good way to describe what I was struggling to say. I want a snack, but I don't want to miss the next shot. You're going to have to remind me at the time of the shot to go for that, because I'm going to forget. Non-typical won't be at launch, but seems like they're planning them. Did they say that? That'd be sweet. Transylvania, I think you're close enough anyway. Did you find out how the genetics rating works yet? I have not. I don't get it. Eventually, I'm sure there's going to be some more light shit on that, but I can't figure it out. Stepped away from a moment. Have we spotted wolves? We have not. Taking it slow in case there's any around, though. Hunter sensing every now and then in case there's a sound I don't hear, because sometimes I talk too much. Seems more like classic, and that's a plus? 100%. Much more like classic than, say, Call of the Wild would be. And I'm even going to say more realistic than classic. What'd you think about Transylvania? Honestly, the red deer and the fallow deer, just in my limited play, have been so darn cool. Are they the only... I guess roe deer are antlered on this map, too. And then you've got the boar, which actually look pretty good. There's the wolves. What else is on this map? I know they have ducks, probably geese. I'm missing a... Oh, I think there's supposed to be brown bear eventually. But honestly, like, again, the red deer and the fallow deer alone are enough for me to spend a lot of time out here. What map are we on? We are on the Transylvania map. So excited to try this game and see how it ranks compared to Call of the Wild. I think you're going to like it. Or wait, were you asking me how's it ranked compared to Call of the Wild? You might have been. If so, I'd say simulation perspective, it's better than Call of the Wild. I think a lot of people are still going to prefer Call of the Wild for the rate of animal encounters. As you can see, like, we're just walking down a road right now. We're not going to see nearly as many animals. Like, this stream's going to end up being 3.5 hours. It's got 34 minutes to go. We'll probably find less animals in that 3.5 hours than a normal 2-hour Call of the Wild stream. But the realism factor of that ends up swaying in the way of the hunter's favor. I don't think you should do that, Gray. Bad idea. People like Call of the Wild for the arcade feel. Yeah, like I said before, I think it's best that they're just more or less catering to 2 different audiences. Do they have squirrels? They do not. Will you try bird hunting soon? I'm really not sure, like, kind of how to bird hunt. The only thing I know is if you happen to go past a bird and have a shotgun and they fly past, you can get a shot. What calibers in the game? Everything from a 22 LR to 223 to 43, 7mm mod 8, 300, 308, 338. I might have named them all there. Plus shotguns and 3 different gauges. Can you choose your character? You are locked into a main character. What just happened to the road there? You're locked into a main character named River Knox. What are the odds? Just accidentally put my binoculars right on a fallow deer. Well, they're kind of traveling, but we'll see if we can get them. Game looks bad. I must disagree, sir. Classic still has the best gun sound? I'd probably say so. Are there any moose? There are moose on the North America map, yes. I don't know if you answered earlier, but any brand deals or whatever they're called, they have Loophole, Bushnell, as you can see my binoculars here, Steyr, Remington, and Primos. There may be others. Is there bow hunting? At least not at launch. They've talked about maybe doing a bow hunting DLC. What about spooked here? Roe deer, again. I'm never going to kill a roe deer. Every time I just spooked at things. Killed a wolf yet? At least not on today's stream. If you catch... What video is that? Tomorrow's second video, I think, has one. Ain't no big buck hunter in the bar. That game does get significantly improved by the level of intoxication. It works out well. I need to kill a huge male roe? I'd like to. Oh boy, this fallow deer getting over there. Do you have a collar? I do have a collar for fallow deer. It's most likely going to have to be something I primarily work on kind of off camera. So with collars, you start off with what are called the level 1 calls, which generally only attract either females or low fitness males. As you harvest and sell more animals that were attracted to a call, or called animals you might call them, then you unlock the higher level calls, and those can call in the big males. So as of now, calls can only do so much for us, but eventually they're going to be a really good tool. Are there elk? There are elk. Is there stands to sit in? There are, like, tower stands, but you can't, like, place your own stand, let's say. What is that guy? 2-star mature, I think? I can't get the darn thing to spot for long enough. It is. I think that was the one we spotted at a distance. There's a bunch up here, though. Got some does. Oh, and we've been spotted. Okay. Young guy. Where did that mature go? Oh, I see him. Okay. There's a tiny gap where we can get a shot. It is that deer right there. If that's him, okay, we got him. Good deal. I wasn't real sure about taking a shot with a very limited gap. I thought for a sec, did he stumble and fall, or was it just the way the terrain went? Couple of okay-sized bucks in there. He is down or bedded right there. Oh, I didn't do the thing. I really couldn't on that one, Psycho, but maybe I'll try it if we have another chance. I already like the trophy system. I like the overall system. The scoring is kind of meh. It doesn't really... Whoa. Because it's a combination of Boone and Crockett and CCI, it just doesn't really make a lot of sense. Nine Rock commented, did I miss that? Dad's back home? Yeah, that makes sense. Woke me up. Good morning. Hi, Shadow. Yeah, she wanted to say hi, that's for sure. So you want me to aim, like, right here, right, Psycho? Or, no, it's here, isn't it? I think it is here. There's no way I'm going to make that shot. Look, he was live. Yes. I want to find Nine Rock's comment, because I missed that. How long ago was that? I don't see it. That's right, I'm blind. At least we got the right buck. 69.25% on the genetics, nice. Jump scare, that was, yeah. I heard something, and I felt her move under the desk, and I was like, well, maybe she'll just go and visit. But she's not used to voices. At least not, you know, from outside of this room. Looks like a fun game. It is indeed a fun game. I likes it a lot. Have you seen Wild Boars yet? We killed 3 or so here when we switched to Transylvania. Actually, we made 2 500-yard shots. One we made from 500 and it didn't kill it, even though it was a long shot. That was about 550 yards. Just didn't have enough bullet energy to get it done. And then, roe deer? Holy. Maybe we can actually go and get one. Anyway, then we killed another, or made another shot at 500 yards that did kill. That was like 508 or something. Will you play this over Call of the Wild? I think I'm just going to play them both. I don't know that I'd look at them as being similar to the point that I'd need to choose one over the other, if that makes sense. They are on a mission. It's only 300 yards. Like, if they'll slow down, we can do it. Not that they're interested in that much. Well, I say we mark and move on. God help. The distance even looks better? I think it does. Can I get out of here, please? That was awful. Absolutely stuck. Yeah, I would probably agree with that, Psycho. There are... That road you just screamed. There are some weird things, like distance on a hill can get a little funny, but for the most part, it's quite good. So nice to not just have the reticle take up your screen, but actually have a field of view outside the scope. It is quite nice that that's a factor there. I don't know how long they're going to run, so I don't want to spend forever just kind of walking up here. Or not even run, just trot, I should say. Where? Oh. Well, got too close. Never will I kill a roe deer. Oh well. What is the render distance? Animals can render out to 800 yards on max graphics at least. I'm unsure. I know that your settings matter, I just don't know how much. So like lower settings would reduce the render distance. Have rifles have a different sound in different areas? I can't say I've noticed it, if they do. Any badgers yet? I don't think so. We had a fox. How long are you gonna stream for? About 25 more minutes. Can you change to meters or is it just yards? You can change, yeah. You can use either one. Probably meters are gonna have perfect zero ranges, so it would be 50, 100, 150, 200, so on. And the yards just kind of keep on getting further and further off from what would be a perfectly round meter number, but that's all good. The marking system seems good. It's pretty good, yeah. The ability to mark with binoculars is a huge deal. Is it the same build as release day? I can only assume, the fact that it's so close to release day. How effective are callers? So we've been able to call in 2 deer so far. We actually called in more than 2, but we only shot, well, let me put it this way. 2 occasions we were able to call in deer. The first time we got some mule deer does that just trotted right in, stopped at probably like 10 yards and I shot one. The second time, we caught in this fallow that ended up trotting like way out around us, to the point that I couldn't even figure out where it was and spooked it. So they work good, I just don't know why the heck it did that. It's a pretty exciting episode, Bottom Boy. Of the 3 for the Finland/PA Rup mix, it's probably my favorite. Roe deer on a diet, indeed. Can you turn the sound of the car down? Like when you can't only turn the car down, you can turn down the overall volume though. I did not, DDP. DBT, what did I say? I said that completely wrong. Checking in from deployment in Africa again, you're getting me through it. That's cool, man. Appreciate you, by the way. Thanks for stopping in. When is the next vid for Meat Hunters? In 24 minutes. If I can find a deer to make it possible, Psycho, I'll attempt it. Just happy it's fall time when you hunt and not summer? Yeah, some of the summer maps never did make a lot of sense. Especially considering the deer didn't have velvet. Hunter sense can be used when walking? Yes, not when running, but when walking. And the other side of that is, you have to identify like 30 individual tracks first before you can use it when walking. At first you can only use it while standing still. Can you turn bopping off or bobbing off when walking? I think they said there's going to be settings for that, but not on release. Issues on consoles that are not on PC? Nothing that I've heard, but you know, I can only speak to what I've kind of been informed of so far. I kind of want to go down to where I've seen some other red deer, since we're starting to run out of time, but I also want to stay up here where maybe I haven't found red deer yet, because who knows what's out here. Should keep totals of animals harvested during both Call of the Wild and Way the Hunter streams to compare averages. That would actually be interesting. It depends on the Call of the Wild stream too. Like, I'd have to do one that's a just run around and hunt a map, like not a black bear grinding stream, for instance, because that obviously wouldn't be a fair comparison. I mean, it would be because you can do that in Call of the Wild, but also wouldn't be because that's like not the normal hunting experience. Do you know how far the render is? 800 yards for animal render. Reminds you a lot of Call of the Wild? Same here. Or a classic, not Call of the Wild. I read your Call of the Wild at the lower part of that, and my brain broke. Can you hunt for chamois? I don't know where chamois would be, actually. They gotta be up high somewhere. I don't know if I have access to property that has chamois on them. That might sound stupid, actually, if you don't know how the... there are... On any map... We just spooked some red deer. Or at least one. On any map, there are 4 passes to areas of private land that you don't initially have access to. And you can purchase those for 4,500 credits, which kind of slows down your ability to just yeet all around the map and see everything. Which I think is a good thing, actually. I know some people won't feel that way, but... For me, I think it's good that you're going to have to slowly progress and work to earn those credits. What's up, Solar? Game's really good. I'm having a ton of fun. We've had probably our most successful hunt so far on this stream because I've been patient. Having the ability to chat with you guys and not just getting impatient and running all around has really increased the kill total for today compared to any other hunt that I've been on for the videos. So I think that's a plus. That'll probably be a good teacher to just slow it the heck down in general. Let's see. There were calm red deer sounds, so they gotta be down there. My guess is they're maybe drinking. I know they drink sometime like middle of the day-ish. I really want to get a red deer for you guys before we're done. Even if it's a small one. Thought I heard a thing. Hoodie season means hunting season and football season. Steelers' first preseason game is tomorrow. Game looks amazing. It really does. It's quite well done. There's some red deer. Pretty good one over there, isn't there? Let's see. I still think there's some on our side of the water as well. Yeah, that guy's not bad. I don't know. Do we just move quick and try to get on them? I think we do. Bird in the hand, as they say. Crack one? No, you. I see how loved I am here. You have earned such love. Or lack thereof. Get that when he's a matter? He might be. We'll scoot in a little closer and get the binoculars on him and see. Because what we don't want to do, like if that's a 4-star adult, we want to make sure that he ages. Because he might have the potential to reach 5-star as a mature. So we want to, you know, be careful about what we're shooting when it gets to some of the bigger stuff. How's the drop on long range? Bullet drop it exists, but it's basically a non-factor. Because with, I think, any scope, you can just zero to any range. All the way out to 1,000 yards. So it's not something you really have to worry about. There is drop, it's just kind of, you know, not something that's an issue. So I got a mature 2-star up there. Got a young one there. Now that's a really good young one. The one that I mentioned before, that I thought was a good young one, like look how, that guy's already got, what does he have, 4x4? That's one we want to keep around for a while and see what he turns into. The one behind this guy, which is another decent young one, is a 2-star mature as well. I'm going to say, probably we're going to take this one. 200 yards is doable. I think probably we'll just send it because I don't know where they're going. That looks pretty good to me. Kyla can't play yet, unfortunately, Scarecrow, because of the way early access works and stuff, they're... I don't know the correct way to say it, but, like, early access only applies to the person who gets it. Like, I wouldn't be able to be like, hey, all my friends, come over here and play Way of the Hunter. I have early access. That would be like a breach of whatever agreement, I guess, there is by having the early access to begin with. Can you accidentally shoot another hunter? I haven't played multiplayer yet to know. Didn't drop, but hit it nice. It looked good. Fallow deer up there too, and of course they spooked, but with 20 minutes left, we might be able to get them. Do you need headphones? It will help tremendously in a game like this. Look at that blood painting all the grass. That is so cool. Okay, he ran up the hill, I thought. Or did he? Might be a time for hunter sense then. Maybe they went across. Friendly fire would be pretty sweet. Don't you shoot my 4-star adult, he's gonna be a 5-star. Pop him right in the toes. Okay. I know he's dead. I need one blood track to know what direction he ran in. This is what I get for not paying attention. Wait. Ah, there we go. Okay. All is well. Go without the hunter sense as long as we can. It's probably dead, not too far from here. Should play Red Dead Redemption. I did a full playthrough that on Twitch. Wrapped that up probably 6 months ago or so. But that took over a year. Lots of Twitch streams doing that through that time period. Hit too far back. Yeah, it was tough when he was on the walk. What did he do? Turn back down the hill? There was blood here-ish, I thought. Blood there. So we'll leave a marker. It looks like he kind of turned up the hill, actually. You can see, like, the direction of travel based on the blood splatter, which is cool. Or spatter, I don't know what the right word is. So we'll kind of use the hunter sense to attempt to help us out. I swear, he's got to be laying literally within 100 yards of here. Just got to find that next spot of blood. Oh, there's this here too. Maybe he turned a little sharper than I thought. This is definitely hunter sense required for this. Is there fox? There are fox in the game, yeah. How sharp of a turn did he make here? He almost went back the other way. Not that that's unrealistic. You actually see deer do that a lot. But I wasn't ready for it. I mean, if that blood splatter is correct, he had to have just turned and gone back up this way. Struggling very hard. I feel like I'm struggling very hard right now. What is the penalty for the wrong caliber? If you use a gun that's too small, your penalty is that you're probably just not going to kill the animal. If you use a gun that's too big, there is meat wastage, so you get less less money when you sell it. You can use a way overpowered caliber though for a big animal, and it's not going to hurt the, or sorry, like a trophy animal, not a big animal. I had the height about right. A couple inches too far back. Not bad though. That guy was the 2-star mature, so one that we definitely had to take out. 15 more minutes indeed. And, well, to be honest, I've lost my bearings here, but I thought the fallow were maybe up this way? How many species in the game? All of them, yes. I don't know if that's what you meant. How many species are there? There's got to be 16? 18? No Roosevelt and Rocky elk? I think they just call them elk. I didn't even pay attention. We shot a couple. If you sleep, you'll age the animals. That also could mean you will have your mature ones dying off. Why do they do that head bob in the harvest screen? I think it's to simulate them alive and breathing. I think that's what they're going for. I will attempt at Psycho if I can get such a shot. One that's standing still would be nice. Can you long range hunt in this game? We shot 2 wild boar today at over 500 yards. If that answers your question. Play Call the Wild when you're done. We're not going to be today. We are 3 hours and 18 minutes into the stream. Actually, what just spooked? I heard a crack. I know something did. Game's messing with me now. Anyway, in 12 minutes, the 7th episode of our 2021 season on the Meat Hunters channel is going to be premiering, so we'll be headed over there. And that's pretty much going to be the end of the stream. I'm on a strict time limit. Nice, Danny. Does YouTube have a raid feature? They do, but I don't think we have it set up. Like, you have to set up the raid beforehand, basically. Like, I think that we'd have to go onto the Meat Hunters channel and set up to accept a raid or something like that. It's, I don't know, probably smart the way they did it, because some, like, say smaller streamers just don't, it'll be too much anxiety or whatever to have, like, a lot of people there. I'm not saying, like, that would happen on a premiere, but, yeah, it's a little more involved with YouTube. Does the soundbar help with your hunts? There isn't a soundbar in Way the Hunter. Are the big trophies as rare as Call of the Wild? I get the impression, like, the best of trophies in this game are more rare than Call of the Wild. But it's going to be hard to say, you know, 20 hours of gameplay. Could go either way. I could have been very lucky or very unlucky by getting that 4-star fallow. Could mean that getting a 5-star is going to be really tough. Could actually mean that it's just not that hard to get 4 stars. That kind of sucks. I started running, but I just had no idea where we even were. Looks like this is going to open up to a big clearing, so we might have the potential to see where they stop even. Actually, it might not be as clear as I thought. That's okay. We shall see what happens. This is what I get for being impatient. Like, every time I run, I spook stuff. The game will break me to stop running. Oh, you meant a soundbar added to your PC. I gotcha. I mean, the biggest thing is the directional sound, so it could only do so much. Do you know if there's a bow or will be bow hunting? There are no bows in the game currently. I believe they intend to try to do one as a DLC, though. Think like Classic? Yeah, basically. The thing about Classic is animals actually give out a call more often to kind of let you know, like, hey, quit running, there's a thing over here. You only get that really rarely in this game. Like, if you're running, rarely do you happen to get a sound of a deer or whatever out in the distance before you end up spooking it. You gonna try a deer driving away the hunter? I kind of doubt it just because of the realistic ballistics. That's a fun thing to say. I just think it's likely you're gonna have a bunch of wounded deer. They have not stated DLC for bows yet, not buying till it gets added. I think they just said, like, in the Discord they're considering it or something. Why would you change to yards? No one uses that. That's what I measure distance and stuff with in real life. The reason that I've always used meters in the W games is because in Classic it's the only option. In Call of the Wild, because so much of the information transfers over from Classic, it's best to just stay with the metric system because I already knew so much from Classic being required to use metric. Not having bows in a hunting game is a big off in my opinion. It would be nice to have another style of hunting available. I don't mind it too much. The hit animations and stuff with the rifles are so realistic, I don't end up with the feel of it being super repetitive. But that may wear off. I said earlier, I really want to see what my opinion on this game is in like 2 months when the ooh, shoot new shiny thing kind of mindset wears off. Darn it. They're hiding really good. I'd love to know if we're even, like, following big deer. I guess we're about to find out. Those didn't look big. Ooh, that kind of did. How big were you, lad? Oh, not again. I'm going to be sucked into this for forever. As we have, like, 8 minutes left of the stream. And like I said, I'm on a strict time schedule today due to the fact that the Meat Hunters episode premieres. The honeymoon phase, you could call it that. How much space does Way of the Hunter take? It wasn't a very big download as I recall. Yards is better than meters? Well, if you measure a distance, it's always farther a yard, so therefore yards is better because it's a bigger number. That's just math. Right? How's the progression in this game? It's pretty good, actually. Funny enough, is very similar for me in the pacing with Hunting Sim 2. Like, at first, you're kind of very limited with your gun, but you can, once you figure it out, you can actually kind of skip a step or two and get some of the better equipment. I think it's made or designed for you to take, like, a certain path through, like, you know, just barely upgrade your gun, barely upgrade your scope, and the way that I did it was just jump to the second best scope and then, you know, start making my bigger moves from there. I think it saves you money in the end doing it that way, but it could slow you down to start with. Only Americans use yard and feet. Normal people use metrics. Hey, are you saying I'm not normal? Just because I make a living shooting pixelated animals? I feel attacked. I think we're going to try to get the heck away from that spot and see if we can... You know what? Actually, best move if we want to kill one more thing is going to be to go kill a boar, given our amount of time left. You aren't normal? I'm normal. How do I always get lost in here. Maybe I'm not normal, because I can't even find my way out of it every time. That door's not the right one. There we go. Okay. Go kill a boar if we can. You run real fast? Thank you. Shoot a 10-star. I don't know if I'm good enough for that. How's the inventory management? I don't love it. Could be a lot quicker, you know? What types of firearms? So there's rifles and shotguns to start with. Rifles, you have everything from a 22 LR up to a 338 Lapua, you know, with 300 Win Mag, 308, 7mm Mod 8, 243, stuff like that in between. Shotguns, there is I think it's a 12 gauge side-by-side, a 16 gauge over-under, and a 20 gauge semi-auto. Overall, first thoughts, I love it. I can say pretty confidently this game's going to be worked into the rotation of content on a pretty regular basis, at least for quite some time. I was just talking earlier, you know, maybe in a couple months when because there's a lot of little details that eventually will become just like something that you're used to. I'm curious if the game retains its replayability factor, but there's so much stuff right now, even as simple as like blood being up on the side of a sapling and stuff when I'm following a deer, or trailing a deer. It's just, I'm so thrilled to see stuff like that. It's hard to even try to rank where I think the game is. Oh, there is a 30-30, yes. Red deer look beautiful. I would say most of the big game in Way the Hunter are the best big game animals out there in any hunting game at the moment. I think up here's where we saw those mouflon earlier, which I'd love to get a crack at one of them. I'm trying to move pretty quick because, once again, we are running out of time. I want to see moose and bighorn sometime. Moose we'll have in a video on Sunday, I think it is. Or no, moose is tomorrow. I'll have moose in a video tomorrow. Bighorn, I technically do. I'll leave it at that. But as you can probably tell by my tone, I didn't exactly kill one. Also didn't try, but you'll see. Aren't red deer mid-game? By big game, I'm talking like deer and up. Not as pretty as I thought it would be. I think it's quite good. It's not quite as pretty as Call of the Wild. It's 90% as good, though, in terms of graphics. What's up, Acid? To know you. Yikes. Come on, Way the Hunter, give me one more animal. You've been so kind to me today. With all sorts of goodies. There's usually so many boar and stuff in these hills. Nice, Jazz. Do you only have access to one map? Nope, we can hunt both Transylvania and the North American map. It's like Nez Perce Valley or something. I never can remember exactly what it is. But yeah, we hunted an hour and 45 minutes of both maps. Pretty equal kill counts, I would say, as well, between the fallow deer, the red deer, the boar, and then over on the North American map, we had elk, we had mule deer, whitetail. Pretty even kill counts. Nez Perce Valley, alright, got it. I keep on doing, like, I don't know if I'm switching the P and the N. Maybe I'm doing, like, Pez something and throwing it off in my head. Have you taken a shot at the elk? We killed 2 elk today, towards the beginning of the stream, if you want to go back and check that out. I don't think we're going to kill anything else. It must be the later in the day. Boar and stuff aren't out in these fields as much. The Z is silent, and it sounds like pate? Nez Perce Valley? I swear the grandpa narrator guys pronounce it as Nez. Just shoot? No, you. When's the stream end? In literally 1 minute. The 7th episode of our 2021 season of Meat Hunters is premiering over on the Meat Hunters channel in just a moment, so very strict time schedule, gotta wrap up today on time, and it looks like, unfortunately, that's gonna be that. So rather than running around aimlessly, let's go and take a look at our fallow once again. There is a max animal render distance. It is 800 yards in Way the Hunter. Look at this guy. I just love the fallow deer. They are so good. That's going to be something that I'm going to be spending a ton of time on. I think the red deer and the fallow on this map are going to be absolutely my focus. But anyway, as we are reaching 3 p.m., 3.5 hours away the hunter, and it was an absolute blast for the entire time. I can't wait to do more. I think the next stream for this game is going to be on Monday. But as for now, I think Bottle Boy's got it there linked in the chat. If you guys want to go and check out the 7th episode of our 2021 season of Meat Hunters, that's premiering right now. And if you're interested in specifically my half, since you're on this channel, my half of that video is first. And yeah, I'm going to jump over there and catch you guys in the chat. As always, thank you for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for all the support. And I hope to see you over there on the Meat Hunters channel in just a second. Bye!